again, joined by Daniel of SAWBLADE666, and we're just gonna have a conversation, talking comics, talking making shit. But real quick, I want to let everybody know that Sawblade has some incredible shit. I don't know if this stuff's still for purchase, but I just want to showcase some of your stuff. Oh fuck, I'm showing it to my laptop.
Oh yeah,
Heads. This is like a collection of
third,
drawings of heads,
the
which
third
is out of
issue, man.
control, dude. And
Yeah,
that's fucking the Crypt Keepers, and not or the
yeah.
old witch, one of those EC fuckers. But one thing I wanted to point out is this. So Terror Rat is a comic that Sawblade has done. This is a mini comic in the true sense of like insanity. It's how many
Six
pages is this?
pages.
6 pages of just like
Yeah,
insane art. Like if you know his artwork, like putting that into the comic book form, I think is like a match made in heaven. But I don't know if you have any of these left or not. But this is Overdose. This is a zine with there's a comic in here. There's a bunch of just rad art and stuff. But that's just a sampling of the stuff that he's got available. Um, Also, he's working on Terror Rat #2, which is something we're going to be talking about.
24 pages,
Person
man. 24
24
pages.
pages,
So it's not
and
really in the
it's
mini comic tradition. It will be half size.
right,
It's going to
right,
be normal half size the way we do it. And
yeah,
24 pages. Yeah, yeah.
insane. And as far as myself, I just recently finished up a mini comic called High as a Fly,
I
which
love
I
that, dude.
posted. You loved it, eh?
I
Fuck,
love
that's
High as a
awesome.
Fly. I love that character, man.
Yeah,
Really cool.
yeah, fuck, man.
Super funny.
This was fun to make, and I had to add a few panels because it's like story wise, it just needed like a little bit of more explanation for some shit, and
Right.
like the finished product, man, I'm obsessed with, and I'm so happy that the two Doom panels got to be side by side. I was
Yeah,
worried
it's
that it
really
might be
cool.
like I was worried it would be, you know, fucking flip floppy on the pages, but that's I've also got some other shit going on, but I just want to start off by saying, like, how's it going, and what are you working on currently, and you know, what's
Oh
up?
man, it's been pretty hectic. I besides work, I've had to put the comic to the side and kind of pick away at it uh, amongst like getting trying to get commission work. So I've had to take
Right.
on like just private commissions, stuff for bands, stuff for individuals, and try to also sell work. Because things slowed down a little bit, so I was like, yeah, try to get some commissions going, and so that slowed down the book a little bit. But I'm hopeful because you know any spare moment I get, I'll pick away at it. I'm on pages 5 and 6 right now, which is a double page spread. So as I said,
Right.
it's 24 pages. They're all penciled. They're ready for ink. So it's just going to be a while till I get it all done because I have to work on it in between
Yeah.
commissions. So right now it's just commissions, whatever I can get commission wise, and then the Terror Rat book. Um,
Yeah.
so
That's wicked.
that's my main
Yeah.
goal is to just try to get it out uh, as soon as I can. So yeah,
Sweet.
I
And
don't have
we were
like a
talking.
projected date or nothing, but
Right.
yeah,
Right. And that's the thing. Like, you do it as you can, and when you want to, right? Otherwise, like, you don't want to like work on this just for the sake of trying to get it done, and possibly rob yourself of like some fucking sick thing. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But what I wanted to say is, before we went live, we were talking about getting shit into comic shops, and like recently I got a couple of my comics into my local comic shop, and I fucking
congratulations again, dude. That's huge.
thank you, thank
That's
you.
fucking
So
huge, man.
let me tell you the story that I was telling
Yes,
you that I would tell you here. Okay,
tell
so
everyone.
uh when me and my brother went to this toy show downtown a couple of weeks ago, uh we it was bullshit. First of all, it was all Pokemon, and like, no fucking disrespect to Pokemon cards, but it was supposed to be a toy show, and it was just
Ah,
expensive shit, right? So
right.
we end up going to the comic shop. which is my childhood comic shop, and his too, I guess. But the owner was there, and I had brought a bunch of copies of my Vomit Coffin comic because I was gonna like hand them out at this toy show. But there was no one there that looked like they could even give a fuck, right? Like they were
Right.
there for business. And I end up giving him the comic. He's like, "Oh fuck, this is cool. If you want, you could sell this here." And I had this Zine Fest coming up, so I said, "Fuck yeah, I'll come by like next Friday because I needed to save all my inventory for this Zine fair." And that went great. And I took the remaining stuff to the shop, and he was like, "Yep, no problem. We'll get this on the wall like on Wednesday." So my shit, like I'm told, my shit's gonna be on the wall on Wednesday, New Comic Day.
Wow. That's
So
great, man.
I I was stoked. So I fucking the day that I actually brought the comics down there, there was a dude in the street because it was downtown playing the saxophone. And I was like, I felt like I was out a fucking taxi driver, man. So I walked past him when I was on my way out and I tossed like 75 cents in his case. It's all the change I had. But I was like on top of the world. So I go there on Wednesday because I'm like, I want to see my shit on the wall.
Right.
I walk in, it's fucking nowhere to be found. And I was like, fuck.
Oh shit.
I was like, maybe he forgot.
Right.
So I was like, you know what? That's fine. It's okay. And they had restocked Heavy Metal #1. So I was like, okay, it's not a total loss. I grabbed Heavy Metal #1.
Right.
And I fucking walk back to my car and I was just like kind of bummed. I was like, fuck, man. And then all of a sudden I get to work and some random fucking guy follows me, and I was like, oh, who's this fucking guy? So I look at him and I'm like, this guy looks familiar. This was the guy that was working at the comic shop, not the owner, but just some random guy that sold me the Heavy Metal. And I
Right.
was like, what the fuck? I was like, and I messaged him. I said, dude, I swear, unless it's your twin, you just sold me a fucking comic book a few hours ago. And he's like, oh yeah, after you left, the fucking owner brought out your shit and put it on the wall. And I was like, man, I was like, you got to do me a favor. I said, you got to send me a photo. And he sent me that photo that I posted.
That's
Uh,
awesome, dude.
so that's the fucking story. So then after that, I like when I was at work for the rest of the day, I was like cloud nine. You know what I mean?
See,
Just
man,
knowing
and
that
just that,
knowing your shit's out there,
dude,
available, like where it's supposed to be.
just that little step, man, that opens the doors for possibly your book getting in other places too. And
Yeah,
also,
yeah,
when those blow out, then it gives you the pressure of like, fuck, you know, to do more. You're going to want to do more to keep that momentum going. You know what I mean?
right,
And what's
hmm
to your benefit is you work so fucking fast, you can meet those needs. So
right.
congrats, man.
Thank
I'm
you,
happy for
thank
you
you,
on
man.
that one.
It
That's good.
the thing is, the thing about that has me so stoked is like it's not just me like standing on a fucking stage on Instagram saying buy my book. Like now it's out there and someone can just discover it, and that's the part. And if I know personally, if I walked into a comic shop, I seen Terror Rat on the wall, I would at minimum have to at least look through it. And then when you look through it and it's your fucking art, it's like, oh my god! Like the fact that is the story called Redneck Massacre. Am I wrong
Yes.
on that?
No, you're
Okay,
right.
that is incredible, dude, and
I've
I'm
got
so
this.
stoked.
I've got the
Yeah,
splash page right here for it.
there it is.
Uh,
Fuck, look at
that's
that,
the this page one's splash page.
man. You
Yeah,
are
man.
not fucking around with that at all. That is awesome.
Yeah. I don't want to.
Wow.
I don't want to give away too much of the story on here. I want people to
Right.
experience it for themselves. But the the general idea of it's not completely social commentary or it's got some political stuff to it, but it's my viewpoint based on some of my experiences and feelings towards what's going on around me, uh, and wrapped up with this like outrageous character, Terror Rat, and then that's the expression behind it or the reaction to it, and
Right.
I'm just having fun with it, man. I'm just you know going off on it. and I'm trying to wrap up it just put in all the ingredients of the things that we love and basically a long violent crazy
Yeah.
action sequence. There's no real main plot. There's no there's no crazy story arc. It's just going to be a long action sequence. So yeah.
Well, that's exciting because like seeing your style in like a sequential format is so like like crazy because like when I think of your art a lot of times I'm not thinking of like comic. Well, I'm not until Terror Rat came around pretty much, but like you think of just like a crazy fucking demonic, like I said before, heavy and like doomish scene.
Yeah.
Like, but seeing that in like a comic form with like these like red, like because you showed me some photos like that one redneck character that I swear it was like me for fuck's sakes, and there's like just
The
like the
guy with
even
the
those like
fuck your
little
feelings hat? The guy with the fuck your
yes.
feelings hat? Yeah.
Yeah.
People
Oh, and
already like
also
that guy a lot. Yeah.
uh like the Terror Rat itself, like it's well, you know my feelings on the Terror Rat. I'm a fan.
By the way,
There it
here's the
is.
cover. This is the actual cover.
Fuck.
Um, the other thing you were posting was like more of a promotional poster, but this is the actual
Right.
cover of the book, and it'll be printed on like really bright uh, magenta, hot pinkish paper. So this will be black, but the white will be the magenta color. Yeah, and yeah, it's moving slow, man, but I'm picking away at it. I mean, here's the I think this is the page that has that character you were talking about.
Fuck, man.
So this is page 2.
Yeah, I love that dude, like that guy with the mohawk. Holy shit.
The mullet hawk, yeah.
Yeah.
Look, he's
Oh,
got
the
a bald
mullet
spot in
hawk.
the middle though. Like it's long on both sides.
Oh, fuck. That's funny.
Here's
That is funny.
here's page 3. I just thought I'd preview the first few pages that I've got inked.
Yeah, that's insane, dude.
So this will all be set up the first 3 pages or 4 pages, and then so here's page 4.
That bottom panel, that was the panel that I was referencing, and that
It
was
does
me
kind of
last
look
night
like
off that.
you.
Dude,
Yeah.
that was me off that edible last night, man.
So here in Texas, we
Oh
do
my
have
god.
stupid, you know, giant lifted pickup trucks that are as big as buildings. So, um,
And then like a 4 foot dude hops out.
right. And so after that page, that's when our boys introduced here.
Oh fuck.
So after this double page spread is when the mayhem ensues. So
That's insane.
uh,
What a
there's
concept. Like,
freeways in the back there.
yeah, that's incredible. Is that referenced off something or is that just out of your head?
I looked at some photos, but it's all put together,
Yeah,
my way. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I
It's
set up
good. It's good to
this
have
whole
that, you know.
I set up this whole angle this way, you know.
That is it's hard to like do shit like that, man. Like
Yeah.
that like perspective, like that weird fucking perspective of like,
But
damn.
where I'm from, there's just covered in freeways. So you'll see a bit of that in the comic, because a lot of the action takes place in traffic, and he just destroys, you know, all this traffic on these freeways around me. So that's another little thing in there is frustration with traffic. So it's having the fantasy of just tearing through it to get to where you need to go. You know,
You know
so
what? Yeah, you know what I was sort of reminded as you were saying that of is Maximum Overdrive.
yes,
That like that
yeah,
that movie, like personally I love
dude.
that movie.
Oh, I think
And
it's
I
great.
think Terror Rat could be right in there with those trucks. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
fucking crazy, man. Yeah, really, I'm really like stoked to see the process of that. And like that's one thing that I know we always love to talk about is like just like process and sort of like our little scribble sheets and stuff. And I got something here I think you might think is cool. Uh, this is all the thumbnails for that High as a Fly comic. They're very archaic, but I wanted to do it on like a big format so I could put it in my binder that I keep all this shit with. You know what I mean? It's
Dude.
hard to kind of see, but it's all pencil. But I know that you would appreciate that type of bullshit.
Oh, I love that because I could show you the your thumbnails though are way cleaner than mine and are very comparable to your, and I can tell what's going on even though they're
Right.
minimal. Mine are really messy. I could even show you like I don't have any here. I can go in the next room and grab them, but I could show you like the thumbnail for this, and then, dude, it would be. I mean, it would be totally unreadable to what ends up here. And I go
Yeah.
directly from those to this, so it's just more of it's just really loose. I don't know if I've shown you my thumbnails before. Have
I
I?
think I think I think you have you had a
Okay.
stack of something you were showing me last time, and I think like since then, like in our conversations, you've shown me a lot of fucking really
They
crazy
basically
process
look like
stuff.
this, dude. Like this
Exactly,
isn't
like
a page,
yeah,
but they
that type
look
of
like
stuff.
they're actually, this is clean compared to some of my comic layout pages. They're um they're really, 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 really loose. I mean, stick figure loose.
Well,
Um,
one of the hard parts I find with thumbnailing a comic, especially because I come up with like the story and like what it's going to look like before I come with like the actual dialogue that's going to go in there. So I'm always like fuck, like how big of a like word balloon has to be there and different shit like that I always take into
I,
account.
I
But
I run into that. I run into that problem, and um, I'm still trying to figure that out because
yeah,
sometimes when you change dialogue, you have to change the
okay,
size of that balloon.
yeah,
So if you pre-write your comic like a script, it'll be determined already. I don't write that way. I kind of like write it as I go, and then kind of
yes,
guesstimate. So after I do the drawing first, I guess, because I'm more visual in the art. I'm an artist, so I'm going to go for the drawing first,
right,
and I'll put in the words later, and I'll sometimes I'll have to like I almost fuck myself, because like, oh shit, I should have pre-planned that a little better to make the balloon uh, contain the words. But yeah, that part's challenging. That part's
yeah.
challenging for me.
There's a lot of shit like you wouldn't fucking even think of, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, can you just give me a second, dude? Just give me one
sure.
second. I'm just getting a phone call.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
yeah.
Okay, sorry. It's just because my wife's coming back today, and her dad wants to come with me for the ride. And I tried calling him like 5 times before we got on, and I'm like, I know he's gonna call when we're like talking, and of course he did, but no, it's all good. Um, one thing that I've wanted to say, I don't remember what we were talking about for the
We're
record.
talking about the trickiness of word balloons and placement of them.
Right, right. Okay, so another thing that I'm trying to like wrap my head around and fit onto the page, and sometimes it has to get like exoed from the plan, is like not a word balloon, but like a thing that's explaining like a situation without a character talking. You know what I mean? Like what
Caption
would you call
box,
that?
like a
A caption box, yeah. That can also fuck you over, man, because depending on you're gonna have a little tiny drawing and then a whole panel of just words. Like fuck that.
sometimes you don't need to do that. And also, what I've decided, or well, decided and discovered is that a lot of times people can people can tell what's going on in the panel if you're doing your job. So there's no reason to
Right.
reiterate to the reader like what's happening in the panel already when they can see it. Typically, I think
Right.
it's good for those caption boxes to have like maybe an additional amount of information that they wouldn't have get from just seeing what's happening on the page. Is the way I kind of
Right.
approach those. You know what I
Mm,
mean?
yeah.
Um, oh, hey, I wanted to tell you before I forget. It's so cool that you got your book in like a real comic book store because it makes me think of the time, like I guess when we first talked, you said that you discovered zines and zine culture through your comic store.
Yeah.
So the cycle kind of repeats itself because somebody that wouldn't normally get into underground comics or any kind of zine culture picks up your publication, that's how that starts over again. Because maybe it'll trigger them to go to a photocopy or make a book.
Yeah. And
And that's
that's a
awesome,
really
man.
inspiring thing, man. It's like I was inspired, you know what I mean? Like that's how I was like this can be done because I would go in there and in the back there's a few artists that I know, like I've met personally that have their books there, and it's like, man, this guy's from the same fucking place as me, man. Like I gotta at least try because the thing is, I've taken some of my stuff to places before, and they wouldn't sell it, but they'd let me hand it out for free. And it got to the point where I was like, why the fuck would I do that? Like just to get it out there? Like I've given out a lot of books for free and I'm not against that, but like if if I can get it into a store where they'll sell it, I'd rather that than make these copies and just and constantly just give them away. You know what
You
I mean? I
can't do
want them to
that.
be able to.
You can't do that forever, man. Even on our
No.
level, I understand the purpose of free copies and trading and that's part of zine culture. I get it, but as artists and as people that put their time into something, especially if it's part of your living or part of your livelihood. You can't always, yeah, you can't just give shit out for free. I mean, you and I know
No.
the well. Think about it: the materials that you spend, the gas that you burn getting to the copy store, the time that it takes while you're there to make it, or make part of it there and take it home and make it. Uh,
Yeah.
Postage, going back and forth to the post office. I mean, you can do it all for love and not care and have your main gig, whatever that is. But I think eventually, though, you have to. There's got to be some return so that just
Yeah.
so that you can keep it going. And if it's like, I mean, I'm charging $10 for my book, man. It's 24 pages. It's not full color, but man, the payoff is in the art that you get, and you know, that barely covers the printing cost of them all. If I print 50 of them, that $10 a book, that kind of covers, I mean, a good portion of it, but not all of it. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm still
Yeah.
losing money. I'm not even getting paid for doing the actual art. So
That's the thing. So like
it's a lot of, yeah, it's
that's the
for the
love of
love
it,
of it.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I am doing it for the love of it, but
Yeah.
I
And
gotta, you know,
that's the thing. And to be able to see it like in a finished format, it's like it needs to be in a comic shop for someone to find, and not just like, hey, like, here's a free like trying to get it. I For some reason I had this thought for a long time that like I had to like, you know, give my shit away for free in order for it to be like out there. And then I like my wife, like we had a that zine fest recently, and I was like going over like how much I was going to charge and this and stuff, and she was like, "You're crazy." She's like, you need to, because it was the zine fair was on the first, so I was like keeping in mind like, okay, people just paid rent, this and that, like probably people, if shit's cheaper, they're more likely to buy it. She's like, don't do that. She's like, don't do that because you're fucking, you're discounting yourself. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I ended up keeping the prices like how I do, like when I sell them online, and I did well because I took the day off work and I made what I would have made at work plus 120 bucks. So I was like, dude, success in 3 hours, dude. I was like,
There
I'll
you go.
take it. I'll take it. And
There you go, man.
the other thing
Yeah.
I wanted to say about that is like they need to be in comic shops, man. That's where this like you need to have a Terror Rat fucking comic on the wall. You need to have, maybe not High as a Fly. I think High as a Fly could be on a comic wall, but like the thing is, they also have like a limited amount of space where like I could literally go down there and hand them like 20 zines and say, hey, this is all this, this is a bunch of shit I've made. Can you sell it? But I'm keeping in mind that like I only want to put out the best shit. So like the Vomit Coffin, the Blood Drunk, which you've seen, um, and that Beavis and Butthead one, uh, like the fact that they're some kid, like this is just made up shit in my head, but like some kid's gonna go in there with his dad, like I did with my dad, and be like, what the hell's this? And take it off the wall and look at it and be like, this is either shit or this is awesome. And then 20 years down the line, they're like walking into that place with a stack of art, or comics
Right.
and be like, hey, can you sell this? Like you said, the cycle, like it's the cycle of
Yeah, that's
life.
what it's all about. That's what it's all about, man. That we keep this shit going in this day and age of everything's so fucking instant and digital and this, that, and the other. And but man, something about the printed page, especially when you're doing it on an underground level, is really special. And
It
I think
is,
it's still
man.
relevant. It's still relevant. It's still because of the just the power of it. I mean, the influence that it can gain.
Well,
Um,
when you put that shit in someone's hands, either at like a convention or like they find it on their own, they're more likely to buy it than if it's on online. Like I've seen so many people on online and they have amazing stuff for sale, and it's like, you can only get so much shit. Like you can't like that's one thing that people do, man. They'll go into debt over trying to like appear to be like, I'm supporting everyone, and that's amazing, but don't fucking, if it comes between like what you're gonna eat tomorrow or like getting some guy's fucking zine, like, be
right,
responsible, you
right,
know.
right. Hey, I was going to ask you on that deal with getting into that store. Did you sell them wholesale? If so, how many? Or is it consignment? Or what kind of deal did you work out?
So it's consignment. So they're making, I'll be straight up because I don't give a shit. The Vomit Coffin, I'm getting $5 out of, they're getting $2 out. They're charging $7 for Vomit Coffin. Which is 36 pages.
Okay.
Um, Blood Drunk, I'm getting three off of. They're getting two, so they're charging five for Blood Drunk, which I think is fair. Like it's like a 13-page comic, but it's fucking handmade. Like there's no like, they're all comics are handmade for the most part, but you know what I'm saying. Um, what the fuck? And then that Beavis and Butthead one, same deal. I'm getting three off of, or yeah, $3 off of, and they're getting
Yeah.
two.
That's similar to what I did with the well, but it wasn't consignment. It was just straight up buyout. Like they uh, um, Forbidden Planet in New York City. Uh, they got I sold the books to them for $2.
Right.
So out of the $5 cover price, I just charged them two.
Hmm.
Um, so that's the wholesale price on that. Um, but it's 6 pages. I mean, get them in there, whatever. So the next book
The
will
th-
be better. Yeah.
the thing is though, like it's a 6-page comic of your artwork, and that's like I feel like that is the like that's the sale because I like people that are into
Well, it's an
this
art
type of
piece.
artwork.
Yeah, it's an
Yeah,
art.
yeah, yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah, like
It's an art
it's a
piece. Yeah.
fucking it's like something that like that you fucking sat there and folded and all this. Like this wasn't like um a super mass produced thing. Like this right here, I want to show this.
Dude, that's sick. Yeah. Oh, that's mine. Never mind. I thought that was
Yeah,
yours.
yeah. No,
I'm not trying to suck my own dick there.
dude, it is sick though. Like that's the thing. Like man, your shit is awesome, man.
Hey, man, Ricky, I have to brag though. I am going to brag about this, man, because I'm happy to finally in my lifetime. I'm 50, and for years I tried to tackle doing a full comic story. I've never
Right.
got beyond 6 pages, 5 pages here, 6 pages there, all spread apart throughout the years. And dude, I just want to say that as sorry for the wobble there, but as a you know struggling cartoonist, so to say, you know, it's good to have 24 pages at least fully penciled.
Yeah.
I've never done that before, man.
That's
So
awesome.
that's a good stack, you
And
know.
like that's 11 by 17, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it's on
See, that's like a bucket list thing to do a full comic on the 11 by 17,
right, right. Yeah.
you know.
So it's a good feeling, man. It's a good feeling.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like I think that like getting to that point where like you have like just like getting the idea ready to go is one thing, and then like getting the pencils down, and now as far as I'm concerned, the rest of it is the funnest part, which is like the inking. You know what I mean? You're gonna
Yeah.
have like your fucking ink sessions, man, and just I'm telling you, I think that is probably my favorite part of it. Like when I was doing like the short films and shit, my favorite part was editing. And that's what like inking is, you know what I mean? Inking is like the edit, like you know what I mean? You're going over because like like going back to like the thumbnail shit being like either rough or however you can do a thumbnail like super polished if you want, you know what I mean? But um uh shit
You know
thumbnail.
what though?
So go
There's
ahead.
two things with that. If you do it super tight, I think what it does is like it saves you time from having to go back and fix things, or you don't second guess yourself. It's more streamlined or whatever. But then I think, with me personally, it can make things too stiff,
Right.
meaning that it's too rigid. You want that flow in your work.
Yeah.
At least I do. I think sometimes
Right.
things can get a little too cold and clinical when they're too far planned out, on certain
Right.
areas, I think. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
but what you want tight and figured out, I think, is your storytelling and what we talked about earlier, your balloon placement and
Yeah.
what's going to go in the balloons
Hmm.
is what I want to tighten up. So to save from having to like, oh shit, I don't have room now to, and I hate that. So
Yeah. Yeah. The
yeah.
that can like I already said, like that can really change the whole layout, and like one thing I'm trying to do is get my backgrounds more, involved.
Mm,
And it's like fuck, I have this idea, like for instance in the High is the Fly comic, there's a scene where they're at like a carnival, and like there's so much fucking dialogue, like this right here, like I had a different plan, like you can't really tell he's at a carnival other than like the setup, like of like the Fly inside of this whatever it is, like a popcorn stand.
right,
uh but like the pages that follow have big dialogue on them, you know what I mean?
right.
And
Right.
and you know what? I could make it smaller, but I like the I like the way that I letter. Like it makes sense for me in this universe that I'm trying to fucking make here.
Sure.
And I think smaller would allow me for more space, but it would take away from the big boxes that I like with the dialogue in them.
Are you working
Uh,
to that size or a little bigger?
this is to this size pretty much.
Yeah.
Maybe it might be a little bit bigger.
Well, see, I ran into the same issue when I did the Terrat mini comic. I was like, man, don't have too much. Your balloons are going to be battling with your backgrounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
So, I think the way you're handling it is just the best way you can do it at that size. It's when you have a little more room, you can think about, oh, have your environment established, and then also your balloons are not competing too much with that. But you have more room to
right.
work with a little bit. Yeah. So I think at
Yeah,
that size, I think it's okay to like maybe skip out a little bit on backgrounds because man, no one's going to be able to draw that
yeah,
tiny for you know what I mean.
yeah,
Imagine trying to draw a cityscape in perspective. I mean, I'm sure there's some people that could do it, but at that size, you're really limited to the detail you could put in.
yeah,
You know, so
yeah. It's it's quite the like every time I finish a comic, I just feel like it's another feather in the hat, so to speak, but also like another lesson learned because every fucking time I draw something, doesn't matter how fucking planned out it is, like shit always gets changed around and stuff, and you gotta
yeah,
really like troubleshoot what you're doing sometimes, and
dude.
that's almost part of the fun too. Like, you know
Yeah,
what I
it's
mean?
it's problem solving, man. It's putting a puzzle together. It's problem solving.
Yeah,
Um,
like I had to do a panel in this that was like a paste up, and
oh, dude.
you can kind of tell, but I think I did a pretty decent fucking job like covering it up. That this panel right here,
Oh yeah, that looks good,
not too bad. Um, yeah.
dude. If you look at original comic pages, especially from a certain time era, they're covered with whiteout and paste ups
Oh
all
yeah.
over. I think it's beautiful.
You this is I do too. Do you have specific whiteout that you use, or like what
Yeah,
do you use for whiteout?
I use
I
two
feel like I've
things.
asked you this before, but I need to know.
No, no, I use two things. I use this thing, dude. I've used this for fucking 30 plus years. It's a Pentel uh, whiteout pen. It's called Presto.
Okay,
You can
let me
get them
write
at
that.
you can get them if you I hate to say this, but on Amazon or just any office supply place.
Right.
They
Hmm.
used to carry them in the stores, but they don't here anymore. I have to hop on like Amazon or somewhere to grab these, and they come in 2 or 3
Right.
packs. And then the other one I like to use. Oh, by the way, if you do this fast, it won't chunk up on you. If you apply it quick
Okay.
and blow on it, it's flat, and you can draw over it all day, man, and it dries good. Same thing with this one. This one's a deleter, and
Oh yeah. Okay, I've heard of that brand.
it's called White. There's a number one and a number two. I'm not sure what the difference is really, but the one I have is a number two,
Okay.
and you gotta mix it with a little bit of water. You get it to the consistency of like sour cream. You know what I'm talking
Okay.
about? You
Oh
get it
yeah.
to
Oh
that
fuck yeah.
consistency, right? And you get a brush and you brush it on over your correction or over the
Right.
thing you want to correct. Let it dry, and then you do it one more time, and it's white and solid and thick. You can draw over it too. This one, but I use
Right.
this mainly for bigger chunks, bigger areas. And then, man, when the area is just too large to cover with these, I fucking cut and paste it time, dude. Like here,
Yeah.
like for the cover. The cover is full of whiteout and paste ups. For instance, Terra right here, that's just one giant photocopy because I didn't
Right.
I had to. change the logo. So I also copied that, and then didn't want to redraw that, so I photocopied that and pasted it. It's all just cut and paste, dude. You know,
Yeah.
it's all
Yeah.
production art, man. It's about, it's not it's not supposed to always be pretty here. The final
Yeah.
result is what your book you're looking at.
Yeah. Yeah.
People get picky about, oh man, that looks ugly as fuck. It's fucked up. No, it's not. That's you're making the thing. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the
I'm big
reason I
on that.
asked that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the reason I asked about the whiteout thing is because I'm always looking out to try new shit because I bought like I bought this fucking thing from the art store. It's a Pentel white, but this is oil, like it's oil based. So when you put it on, it's just it's shiny. You got to put 10 layers. Like this is bullshit. And this might be good for like doing graffiti on like
No,
you
dude.
know
Yeah.
some
No,
bullshit,
this.
but
Th-
not for whiteout.
no, dude. This Pentel here, it's got like an agitator. You shake it up, and then you squeeze, what you need on
Right,
there, blow on it, and it'll
right.
dry flat. This is great for like your correction on lettering or a tiny,
Mm,
little spot you want to get rid of. And then, like I said, this stuff's better for larger coverage.
yeah.
And
Do you
oh,
know what's fucking crazy? What do you
this
got?
one's great for detail. These Posca markers.
Yeah,
These are
yeah.
you got to
Those are
shake the
good.
fuck out of them though before you do it,
Yeah.
because sometimes if you don't do that or don't shake it out, it's like kind of runny and watery. But if you shake them
It
good,
separates. Yeah. Yeah, like the
yeah,
paint and the oil or whatever the fuck separates.
yeah,
Yeah,
these are
those are
good
good.
for
I bought a set of these things. This was $80 and I've only
right.
used it like one time. And I'm like, why the fuck did I thought I had to have it, dude.
Yeah, I don't know
And
about
I
those
think
other. Yeah, I don't know how those other. I wouldn't have any use for it as an artist, like on paper for what I do. But they're white though, man. It's
yeah.
it's good for little. Also, it's like this. It's for smaller details. This one though, I found it's not easy to draw over. Okay, this one though, you can draw over all day long and won't have an issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's the nightmare of this shit too, right? Trying to draw over fucking 2 layers of
right.
whiteout after fucking up twice. And it's like, oh dude, it's carving in. It's time to cut and paste.
Well, yeah, yeah. That's when when it gets that crazy, you just cut it out and paste over. No big deal. Um,
Fuck.
I love talking about this geeky geeky ass
It's
shit.
that because it's fucking because it's part of our it's a big part of our lives and like shit that we love, like it's hard to like when you don't I don't really have anyone personally that is as in like fucking like in in the throes of this shit as myself. So like when you find like a motherfucker that can talk on the same level, it's exciting,
Me
you
too,
know.
man. I agree. I agree.
Um,
Well, I
one
don't know
thing,
anybody else here in town. I don't have anybody else to really talk to other than
yeah,
Abby about making comics.
yeah,
And it's just cool to have an additional people in your life to talk about the craft.
yeah.
Um, it's
It's
rare.
it's
Yeah.
well, it's like any kind of like like people that collect comics and stuff. Like you might know someone that collects comics, but more than likely they don't collect the comics that you collect. You know what I mean? It's some other bullshit. Like because when we say, "Hey, we collect comics," or we make comics, people are they're not gonna think of a terror rat. They're gonna think of fucking Batman or whatever else. And when I tell people, oh yeah, I like comics or whatever, they say, oh like the Avengers, that type of shit. I'm like, listen,
They're not thinking of
no.
Spain.
No, they're not thinking of fucking Spain Rodriguez and the
Right.
fucking Road Vultures fucking stories. You know what I mean? They're thinking of
Or,
some
or
bullshit.
or Dave Sheridan, you know.
They're not thinking of Greg Irons. All right.
Yeah, no.
you know. Uh, no, it's. it's good to have people around that are into the same shit for sure, and also create. You know what I mean? Because that's sort of like that's the separating thing. There's not a lot of people that are doing this shit. I mean, there's a lot of people, but it's like a few people per city or whatever, and most of
You're
the time you
right,
don't even fucking know them. You know?
dude. There's one other person I know of in Houston that does comics. I've only met him a couple of times. Cool guy, but his personality is not like us, where we're real chatty about what we like and what we experience, and just talking the shop, man, talking
Yeah,
shit about it. He doesn't want to. I mean, he's real withdrawn, and that's cool. I am too sometimes, or I used to be more that way when I was younger, especially. But man, it's just cool to talk about. But other than him, I don't know of anyone else. Houston's like got 2 million people in it, man. I mean, there could be. I haven't seen them
yeah,
online. I haven't seen them in public. I could go to maybe more zine fest. I've only been to one. It was years ago. But yeah, it's just I have that hunger, man, of just talking about this stuff that we're talking about. You know,
yeah. Well,
doing the thing, taking that trip to FedEx or Kinkos or wherever you're going, and figuring out how to get this thing made that you've created. You know,
yeah,
the whole discovery of making your dude, just figuring out how to make your master copy, your 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 dummy pages all clean and nice and running, and running double copies, double sided copies, and
oh yeah.
getting your long arm stapler or saddle stitch stapler and making that book, man. That's I can't stress to anybody that to thinking about making a comic or a zine, going that route with it.
Well,
Yeah,
that
definitely
was like,
try the publishing houses where you send your files in or whatever. If you're gonna print fucking maybe 1,000 copies, I guess maybe do it that way. I don't know though, you man. I'm probably like you because I'll probably just end up doing it this way unless I get picked up by a publisher, and even then I'll still do it.
yeah,
Because
for sure. Well, yeah, because then you'll have final say on everything, and that's the most important part to me. Is I want to have final say on what the shit looks like from cover to cover. Um,
it's a rad feeling, man, to have that control. You know.
Yes, it is. It is, especially like, it's a big deal to people like us that when we're making this shit, like it's an actual uh expression of ourselves. If that like I'm trying to make sense of this, but like I guess that makes sense. Like it's an expression of ourselves in uh a physical
Yeah.
form, I guess, right? Like it's the
Yeah.
same as like if a guy was playing a guitar and he's making this
Yeah.
like beautiful music, and then like us drawings, even if it's drawing a stoned fly or a fucking terror rat or even a hellish tyrant, eh?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
still gonna happen. That's still gonna happen.
Yeah. I always
But
bring that up because I remember when I first heard that when I read that hellish tyrant, I said that's out of control. That's fucking out of control. And also, when I was setting up this stream, uh,
yeah.
when I was doing it off my computer, I was trying to figure it out off my computer, and I was trying to find a thumbnail of your art to put as the thumbnail, and the one that I found has the most out of control name. Hold on, what is it? Sigil of Lucifer. Sigil of
Oh yeah.
Lucifer.
Yeah.
I was like, man, that's fucking hardcore.
Yeah.
Um, man, uh, I think that. Oh yeah, this is something else. This is on your if you Google your name, the Garbage Pail Kid card comes up. Was that
Oh
something
yeah.
that was official, or was that just like some shit that you were doing for fun?
No, that's official tops. Uh,
Fuck,
yeah. Let me show you. Yeah, show me the box.
that's insane, dude.
Hang on a minute. I'll show you. So grab the card too, real quick.
That's
Yeah, that's
fucking
a proud
awesome,
moment.
man. No doubt.
I grew up with Garbage Pail Kids. I remember when they came out, dude, and people were getting in trouble with them. Parents hated them. We would trade them at school, and they brought a lot of joy and laughter in my life and influenced my art, you know. But
Oh, for
yeah,
sure.
so here's my card, right? But on the back, yeah, on the back of them, it has you know, atom bomb, right?
Oh yeah.
And then it has my name underneath it. So it has my name on the official card. But what it was multiple artists doing their interpretation of a card, and it was
Right.
a series put out by this company called Beyond the Streets. They
Okay.
they they kind of focus on graffiti and other stuff, just art in general. And they put this together with Tops, and then another company called, I don't know what the other company is. It's Beyond the Streets and somebody else collabing with Tops to put out these series of artist cards, and that's where mine got featured, is in this box.
That's
So
sweet.
it's got a ton of artists on here. Some of them I don't know. It's got Mr. Cartoon.
Oh
Um,
fuck.
you've got Dr. Revolt. I'm not sure who that is.
I
Crash.
think that Dr. Revolt, that could be the graffiti artist Revolt.
Yeah, it's got Claw Money. Uh,
She's a graffiti
uh,
artist as well.
yeah, it's got a lot of graffiti people on here. But yeah, that's where that came from. So yeah, dude, to be anything involved with that Tops logo and
Yeah.
signing that contract that had Tops at at the top of it, dude, it gave me goosebumps because as a kid, you know, you're buying bubblegum cards, you know, and see that Tops logo with your Garbage Pail Kids. You know, it to come full circle to that.
Oh yeah. Well,
What a
that's like the
proud
same
moment.
feeling that I probably had at the comic shop, like taking my shit down there. You know what I mean?
Same
It's like
thing.
this is fucked. This is fucking crazy.
Dude, and what I
Yeah.
hope with you on that is that it springboards into other shit, and people get hooked on it. People get, you know,
I hope
into,
so.
you
Well,
know,
like and that goes to say like I'm gonna make the shit regardless, and that sort of separates the like people like us from people that are trying to like I don't know,
make it.
like yeah, make it. Like we're gonna make this stuff because it's like we have it's a compulsion or like we have to.
That's where the best
Where
shit comes from, though, too, though. See,
yeah,
that's not that it's solely motivated by, oh man, I want to be rich and famous because of this thing. You're just doing it because you love it, man. I mean,
exactly.
that's where the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came from. I know that shit blew up beyond belief, but it all comes from a place of where we're coming from, where we're just doing this shit because we love it and we're trying to
Yeah,
entertain ourselves because the entertainment currently around us bores the shit out of us. So we want to put out the stuff we like, we would like to see, you know?
exactly. Exactly. And that's you know what, that's fucking that's awesome you say that because that's exactly right. And like that's why, you know, making short films, making comics and shit like that, like it's because we want to see we're making shit that we want to see, man. You nailed it because like you go into a comic shop right now and you look at like any of the new issues of whatever, it all just like looks exactly the same. Like it just looks like a bunch of mud. You know what I mean?
It really does, and I don't want to rag on current creators. There's a lot of good stuff out there, and man, props to them for actually putting books out consistently
For
on a
sure.
monthly. And I've never been able to do that, never will. To the fact that anybody can make a full blown comic book and put it out, great kudos to them. But I hear you, you know, because the
Yeah.
other day when we were in the comic book store, Abby and I looking at the shelves, new stuff, and I'm trying to visualize Terrat amongst all of it. And my shit, dude, it it stands on its own. You know,
Yeah.
there's no other thing like it. Not to brag, but when you same with you. I saw that picture with your book on the shelf there. It stands alone. It's that underground aesthetic of something coming from your heart and putting it together yourself. It looks
Well,
different, you know.
and what and like because like Terror Rat, like next to like say fucking Teen Titans or something on a shelf,
Right.
like your
Night and day.
stuff, your stuff is gonna stand out 100% of the time because it's like an exploitation movie in comic book form. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Also,
And
it's very
someone's
punk rock. Yeah.
it
Kind
is
of.
very punk rock, and like people that go into comic shops, like let's say some like people that were in that subculture back then and still kind of hanging on to it now. They're going to see that like some guy that used to buy zines in the 90s when he was in high school goes into a fucking place and sees that, he's gonna be like, whoa, what's that? That's a throwback to like that shit I used to pick up back in the day, and look through it and be like, this is insane. And that's how it goes, man. Like I think that Terror Rat will go far, and I don't think you're gonna have a problem with getting it into stores and stuff, especially once you get it in people's hands. Like in
Well,
terms of
that's
like store owners and shit, they're gonna be like, dude, this is insane.
well, the only thing that motivates me, man, and you're right. I'm on board with you about I would be doing this shit regardless. I do it because I want to, but because right now in my life, my main source of income is my art. I would like it to kind of take the place of me doing illustration only and taking on commissions. So if it does hit off to where I can take it somewhere where I can make a comfortable living, great. If not, that's okay too, because I'm having a blast. But man, it's a great feeling when
Yeah.
somebody, a store owner, tells you, "Hey, man, people love your book." Because Forbidden Planet, a dude was telling me he's all the way up in New York. He's like, dude, people love this shit, and that's what motivate. I gotta admit, it kind of kicked it up for me a little bit more. In that, hey, I gotta put this hellish tyrant stuff aside, my big sci-fi epic thing, kind of put it to the side and focus on Terrat now, just because it was easier for me to write and think of ideas and crank it out maybe a little quicker in comparison to the other. Um, this one's slower because it's 24 pages and it's just more shit, but it's still faster because I'm already done with drawing it all. I just need to finish inking it. And I want to keep that momentum up. That was my only reason of like thinking, man, I got to get this done in a reasonable amount of time, not next
Give
year.
it.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So when you hear that, like when you hear that or you see people digging your stuff, it's you want to do more because that's an exciting thing, man. They're on your level of like, well, this is entertaining too. This is we like this shit. We want to see more of it, and that's
Yeah.
kind of like a band that they're doing an album that they like. They wrote it, they performed it, they enjoy performing it. But it's even better when the fans are like, "This is our favorite record yet." We want to hear these songs, and it blows
Yeah.
up, and you're uh, doing it till you get sick of it and do something else. But yeah.
Fuck yeah. Um, have you ever done any graffiti?
No, no, I've been asked that. I don't know if my stuff for some reason has a graffiti edge to it. I don't think so, but I seem to like get that question a lot. Uh, Growing up, it didn't grab me, but now now that I'm older, it's weird. I kind of appreciate it a little bit more. Um,
Right.
and I think the person that kicked that off for me was Mike Giant,
Love
because
that fucking guy.
here's the thing about him, man. I hope to meet that cat one day, man, because I want to sit down and have a real heart to heart talk to him, because this dude, to me, he's like a renaissance man, because it doesn't matter if it's tattooing, graffiti, drawing on shitty paper with a Sharpie and making it look like the cleanest thing imaginable. Because whenever I try to draw with a Sharpie, dude, that shit is so fuzzy. Fuck that. But uh, he makes it look beautiful, and he seems like a really cool motherfucker, man. But
Oh yeah.
that's what opened the door with graffiti for me even more, because I saw like um, just the work that goes into it, the renegade aspect of that culture. Some of it I appreciate, some of it I don't. But the fact that they're just doing it because they love it, but there's that risk involved.
Yeah. Yeah.
It kind of puts an edge to it, that I like. Um, I don't know what your experience has been with it, but based on that zine you made, it looks like you were getting up. You were doing quite a bit. Seems like.
Yeah. I always state this. I never did any businesses. I only ever did trains and fucking like under bridges and stuff or abandoned buildings. I never I never thought like tagging some guy, and I didn't tag. I was doing like characters, like the shit that you
You're
see
doing
in that zine.
pieces.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the kind of shit I was doing, and they would range from like fucking 9 feet. Like it was crazy, man. It was in. We did a lot of fun shit, but the reason I ask you is because I think that uh like like your style, I think you could translate to graffiti in like a graffiti-ish way, if that makes sense. But I just think it would look amazing. But you brought up Mike Giant, and you're the first person that I've ever met that knew who Mike Giant was.
Really?
Uh, yeah, I first
He's pretty
discovered
big,
him.
dude.
I know, but like the only people that know about him that I know are because I put them onto him. There's a documentary called Piece by Piece that was all
Okay.
about San Francisco graffiti, and that's where I first discovered him. And I was like, "Who's this fucking guy?" And started to research him and was listening to him talk on different podcasts and stuff. And like as you know, he's like a very like spiritually like deep guy. As far as like I think he like practiced a lot of like Buddhist shit and like stuff that I don't know a
Well, I
lot
was going to
about,
say,
but
I don't get on board too much with that. I don't take too much from that. Good for him. That's great. Whatever. I mean, I think even prior to that, he had the attitude that I liked, which is very, he's super chill, but he's really knowledgeable in whatever craft he approaches, and he masters it.
Mhm.
He puts everything he has into it, and it comes out as him. It doesn't matter if it's graffiti, drawing, skateboarding, um, whatever he
That fucking car that he did,
Yeah,
like
he's
that
just
was insane.
everything he touches is brilliant, man, and I
Yeah.
just like his just his whole attitude towards it all is really cool. Um,
Well, one thing he said one time that really resonated with me was he was talking about stickers and like how and people like that were in the documentary were saying about like this guy's always drawing stickers and stuff, and like I felt like that was me when I was in my first round of graffiti, like when I was in high school, always making stickers and stuff. And then like when you find out that, oh, hey, there's other people out here doing it and check out their stuff, and then you become like a fan, and all those like prints that guy's always doing and stuff, like they're they're so clean. And like you said, I think they're all done with Sharpie, man. Like that is insane.
I don't know how he draws shit so clean with a Sharpie, man. It must be the paint. There, even with
I don't
slick
know.
paper, I just feel like to me Sharpie. Okay, it's a shit drawing tool in my opinion. I know a lot of people like.
Me too.
To me, it's a utility object. You use it to mark things. I think it's great for sketching. I think it's great for filling in a quick black area on a photocopy. It's a utility tool. It's not really a drawing instrument. People use it for that. I get it, but me, I just can't see how clean and precise he gets with that shit. It
It's
doesn't.
uncanny.
uh, You know, it's like a machine. You know,
I feel
uh,
like a Sharpie after you use it once and break the tip, it's like feathery for the rest of the use
right?
of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Hey,
Fuck.
that reminds me. Speaking of markers and shit, I was going to tell you how to refill one of these bad boys.
That's right.
I, I, I think I saw somebody else do this, but I kind of took it further and just really tried different things. And I don't want to put Micron out of business or nothing, man. Because uh, if enough people caught on to this, I think a lot more people will do it. But what you do, this cap here, comes off.
Okay.
If you take a knife right here and kind of loosen this gap here, kind of push it, right? And then take a wrench or pliers and pop this off. Kind of takes some work. It's tight on there. But when you pop this off, if you look down in there, there's a long sponge. It's just a skinny sponge in here. And there's about a quarter of an inch space from where the sponge starts and where this cap ends. Okay, right there, and it runs down to where the tip is. So what I do is once you get that open, take a bottle of this or any ink, but it's better when you have a way to drop it in there. You
Yeah.
know, so this has like a. I use this is for repeatographs. You fill those are refillable technical pens, right?
Yeah.
So this is the ink form, but you can use this ink and here you just drop, dude, 2 or 3 drops in there, right on the sponge, put the cap back on, and it's like brand new.
Wow.
In a way, even better
No
because
shit.
somehow this ink with what's already in that sponge, it charges it, it makes it like smoother and darker. I'm not bullshitting you.
Wow.
It's amazing. Something else I wanted to cover with these pens, and I've been using them more in recent years because those repeatographs, they especially for new people or even experienced people, it's frustrating if you don't clean them properly and soon enough because they can dry up on you. And
Right.
the cleaning in between drawing and using them, it just slows you down. So these kind of been the replacement. I'll use them for super exact shit still, but mainly it's these. But dude, when you're in a bind and you can't go to the art store, you still have. I mean, dude, I save all these now because when they dry out, just use this. And something else I was going to cover. A lot of times, these nibs, these little felt tip, the part that you draw with,
Yeah.
the felt tip at the top, at the end of the metal rod here. Sometimes those wear out before the ink does.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes
Hmm.
you might push that in too far, it might just wear out. But beyond that, like if you run out of ink and this is still good, you just drop some ink in there, man. And
That's wicked.
yeah,
That's wicked.
yeah, and
Man,
it works for
I
any pen. It works for any pen that has a cap like that you take off. Like
I think
I don't.
that my problem is I think I'm pushing too hard
Yeah,
with when I'm drawing, and I think that's what happens because a lot of times, like I feel like the like you said, like the tip is wearing out on one side of it almost, and like the side that you're favoring, it'll start to like fan out. But if you like spin the pen around onto the other side of the tip, you can like it's back to normal all of a sudden. Um,
it's good ink. I think the best part of this thing is the ink is really good. I like it. It's black. It's nice. When you get a new one, it's got that smooth feel to it. It's a good tool. It frustrates me, and I love it at the same time. This thing, but dude, recently I discovered one uh, pen that you should try, man. I think your style uh, would be complemented well with these are zebras. You ever heard of this pen?
no.
It's a zebra brush pen. This thing's kind of in between a micron and a brush pen. It's like a 1 micron, okay? But you can get that thin to thick uh, comic book line easy with this,
Right.
okay? And they
Nice.
got different sizes, like this kind of
You said
light
it was
gray
called
one.
Zebra?
It's called Zebra. Yeah,
I'm
just
writing it down
Zebra
on my fucking table here.
Zebra brush pen. It's like a Japanese brush pen, and then you got a super fat one. They all do
Hmm.
the same thing as far as the thin to thick, just different variations of line width. Really
Right.
good, really good.
Sweet. I'll look into that, man. I fucking getting some good knowledge here. I've here's what I've written down so far. So zebra brush pen, Presto whiteout, deleter white 1 and 2.
Oh yeah,
I want to
this
try this shit, man.
this motherfucker too, man. This thing is awesome. This
Is
is
that little short one?
yeah, this is a Pentel pocket brush pen, and see this cartridge,
Yeah.
dude. You can refill these with whatever ink you want too. You don't have to buy their ink. You can refill these. Yeah, it's fucking badass.
I remember you were using that on one of the streams one time.
Yeah.
I remember you were hyping it up. You were like, "This is the fucking best pen ever, man!" And I was like, "I gotta fucking know what that is."
Well, I was
Oh,
for
there it
years
is.
just using like a traditional, which I do still sometimes. You want to take away the badassness of this thing, but man, when you're drawing as much as I am, and especially for as slow as I am, the less dipping, the less just interference with the tool, the better. So I go for stuff that's
Yeah.
just quicker. But this emulates an actual brush line more than anything I've ever, because I've tried a ton of brush pens, man, and
Right.
this one this one's the closest to a brush I've ever experienced. Yeah, but
Sweet.
this one's good too. These aren't refillable. They're just the handle's the cartridge, and it's
Okay.
nice. You can get a little bit thinner line with them. The only thing is the flow isn't as good. You gotta see, this thing is squeezable. You squeeze the ink to get to
Okay.
that reservoir. But they're okay. They're
Hmm.
you know, uh that's a quick rundown of what I've been using lately, man. Yeah.
Well, that's a good sort of like resource what you just showed me because sometimes you go into an art store and like you don't know like personally like I don't always want to deviate from what I know and what I know is basically I use microns basically like 99% of what I do
And that's good.
and
I mean,
it's because there's so many different options out there and like you've been doing this shit right now to the point where like you know what you like and you know what you don't like and you have experimented with stuff so it's cool to see like it's like that little brush pen because I remember you talking about that like a year ago and just me thinking I wonder what that was like what is it that makes him like this or what is it that makes him think this is shit, you know what I mean? And it's cool to sort of y- to use that as a frame of reference to like see what I like, you know what I mean? Because like I've been through a few different I tried a few different micron, type things. Like I think I used a different fine liner. I don't. I might have been Faber Castell
yeah.
uh, or something like that. But I always go back to the micron, especially for me personally, the 03 and the graphic, the one that's called Graphic One. I could make it an entire comic with using nothing but those two pens, man.
Dude, and that's what's important. It's whatever's like to me, this is what wins the game. Availability, can I run to the art store and grab it, when I need it?
Mhm.
And affordability. And if not, yeah, you can order it or whatever. But I like things that I can. If I run out of something, I can go to the art store real quick and pick it up. No problem. So I
Yeah,
go for tools like that. So I'm the same way. Microns, I can grab whatever sizes I need, and a brush pen, I'm good to go. Those just those two, you know.
yeah,
And when you have one or two things that you can just grab and make a comic with, it almost doesn't matter. It doesn't matter like what it is or
yeah,
what type. It's just whatever feels good and gets the line down that you want. And
yeah,
good to try new things. I guess I'm a tool junkie too. I like to fetishize things that I draw with just because I like it. But
yeah,
overall, at the end of the day, I I have a couple favorites that I just stick to, and that gets the job done.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. For sure. And uh for a while I was that's why I bought those Posca fucking paint markers is because I wanted to try some color stuff, but like I always fall back to just black and white, and that's, other than the covers, I've been doing covers. I've been coloring those digitally on Adobe Illustrator because I just like the way that like you get full saturation and all that. Like it's like Simpsons, you know what I mean? Like I want it to
Yeah,
like be colored in the same, not the same style, but like the same saturation as like the Simpsons, where blue
it's
is fucking blue,
it's
and yeah,
traditional cartoony looking shit, man. Yeah,
exactly, yeah,
that flat color with that black line. That looks good. Abby and I were
I love
talking
it.
about that. That's the shit that makes me happy, man. When I see that solid black line with solid color,
Yeah.
you don't need all this fucking 3D shit, to get the point across. You know,
Well, and that's what I was talking about earlier when I was talking about modern comics, and like you said, like, yeah, shout out to anyone making comics and stuff. It's fucking awesome. But when you flip through some of these things, it's like especially when it comes to the coloring, it's like they go overboard
hurts my
with like
eyes, dude.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
It hurts my eyes, dude. And another thing that hurts my eyes, and this has been going on for fucking 30 years now. And that's one reason I dropped out of comics for black and white. And I do my work is probably always be black and white. I still love my comics to be a certain way when they're colored or when they're printed. And a lot of these new comics, man, with that shiny ass fucking paper, and then the way they color them, it's like I can't see shit. It's just see gloss everywhere. It's
yeah,
like shiny upon shiny. Everything's got to have a fucking giant flare, and then the light from the store hits the page, and I can't tell what's going on. I'm being
yeah.
a little bit, exaggerated, I guess, but it's just how I feel whenever
Well,
I
I
look.
know I feel the exact same way because that's happened to me too, and like, it's just it's going overboard because they have access to literally every fucking thing at their fingertips. You know what I mean?
I
And I
got
get it,
a
that's awesome. But just like adding like you said, a million flares just to add a million flares, like fuck.
this thing right here, man. As you know, I recently picked this up.
Yes.
You can see the cover. This thing is brilliant. All handmade. This is better than any modern comic on the shelf today because look, okay, it's got like a slight glossy cover. It's not ridiculous, right? It's a normal semi-gloss finish. When you open the thing, dude, it's like that newsprint. It's actual newsprint, and the color just looks like that washed out, you know, printed effect that color gets on newsprint.
It looks amazing.
You know what I mean? It's beautiful. And
And
when I
he's and
found
that's
out
all fucking that's all hand done with markers and shit. Like,
markers,
man.
Pro markers mostly, I think.
yeah, Prisma markers.
Yeah, Prisma markers, Pro markers, all that
Yeah,
kind of thing. Yeah, that's my shit right there.
yeah. Abby slays with the markers, man. She
Oh,
tears it off.
come on now.
Markers. It can be a hard thing to 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 get down sometimes. But
Oh fuck yeah.
when I see somebody tear it up with markers, man, it's like, dude,
Yeah.
you don't need 3D fucking uh whatever the fuck they're doing coloring these modern comics. This is as good as it gets in my opinion. This is it.
Oh yeah.
Uh
I would hang
and
that on my wall. Like that page you just showed, I would hang that on my wall for fuck's sakes.
right.
That's how cool that is.
Hey, you know what I read? Hey, dude, you know what you need to do if you haven't done already. Jim Rugg interviewed Jason Carnes for Comics Journal
Oh, I didn't know.
back in like I was telling you about it. I think.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Back in like 2012. Okay. And
Right.
Jason Carnes goes through his entire process on how he makes these things, and it is awesome to get the effect of that washed out, newsprint look, the color on the newsprint. He purposely like makes the settings lower so that to not only save ink on the cartridge, but to give it that washed out look when it prints.
Wow.
And that's a really clever That's like a clever idea to me, you know. Because I always wondered how he gets that effect, you know, because it's not super harsh and bright like this is.
That got like I lucked out. I found I can get it. I guess I'm just fucking sitting here. Um, I scored on this dude because I think it's out of print now.
Oh, you got the graphic novel of it, the combined. Oh, I have that.
Yeah,
Dude, I
and
bought
and
that.
it's
Dude, I
I
bought
think
that
that
bad
Jim
boy. Like,
Rugg.
yeah, Jim Rugg put it together. He was the editor on it. But
Yeah,
dude, this thing right here, I think it's like, yeah, what is it like? It's a certain amount of issues. It's like, I don't know, 8 through 12 or something like that. I don't know, but it's awesome,
yeah,
man. Where did you
yeah.
get yours?
I got mine at the store that my shit is as at my that place I was talking about where they're
Dude,
gonna have my
dude, you're
comic.
lucky. You're lucky, man. Did you
That
pay
was a
cover
score,
price
dude.
for it?
I paid $30 USA for it, so that would work out to be like probably 45-ish or something.
It's
But
not. Yeah.
when I saw it, dude, because like I knew that artist and I was like, because I follow him on Facebook and all that shit, and I was like, if I ever see that guy's stuff in the wild, I got to grab it. And I remember I got that, and I got fuck. I think I definitely got another book that day. It might have been some Johnny Ryan shit.
That dude's
Um,
hilarious.
yeah, I like his style a lot, but I don't remember what I got with that. But yeah, it was a score and a half, man. There's another book. I don't know if you know the band called Life of Agony.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
So the one guitarist, he's actually a comic creator. His name's Alan Robert. He did
That
this
I
book
didn't
called
know.
Trilogy,
Oh
and
wow.
it stars off Frank Vincent, the guy that was in like Goodfellas, Marky Ramone, and Bree Grant. And this is basically Goodfellas meets Night of the Living Dead.
Dude,
It's
that
fucking
sounds
crazy.
crazy.
And it's black and white, or
The
it's not
cover,
black. It's fucking color. Sorry, it's in.
dude, it looks
Hold
sick.
on, there's a particular page with this ice cream shit I want you to see. Oh yeah, come on. I can flip this, I think. There we go. So when this came out is when I first started collecting comics,
Oh,
like
okay.
on a monthly basis, and I made a YouTube video talking about it, and the guy Alan Robert got a hold of me and sent me a fucking like a box of a bunch of shit, like his
Oh,
other comics that he worked on and stuff.
that's awesome. See
But
that
yeah,
that looks like a
this is really
comic to
cool
me.
stuff.
Yeah, that looks like a comic to me, man. You know, that looks good. That looks good.
Yeah, yeah, it was a good one, man. That's Trilogy, really good, and I think it came out in 20. I want to say like 2011.
Oh, okay.
Uh, I think it was around that time. But this is my fucking shelf of. I probably shown this in the past to you, but there's my fucking Deadwood. I don't know. You probably know Deadwood.
Yep.
Vince Locke.
Dead World. Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
let me see here. We got 68. Did you ever check out 68?
No, I don't think I've heard
It's
of that one.
Nat Jones is the artist. It's a Vietnam
Nice.
uh, zombie thing. Afro Sam. I'm not gonna go through this whole fucking wall, but
Afro
Afro
Samurai.
Samurai's really cool shit.
Abby loves Afro
Fucking
Oh,
Samurai.
Red
it's so
Room,
good.
Red Room, man. We were just talking about it.
Yeah, we found a copy in the wild yesterday.
I miss that dude.
dude. I do
I
too,
wish I
man.
could have met him, man. I would give him a copy of Terror Rat. I wish that I could have just that opportunity to bounce information and um,
Yeah,
geek out over stuff with that guy.
he's definitely like one of us as far as like being a fucking total lifer when it comes to like this type of shit, you know.
Yeah, all the way.
Um, I'm looking forward to that Switchblade Shorties. I pre-ordered that, and that should be coming out, I think, around the summertime. So that'll be fucking sweet.
His original pages, when he flips through those, if you've seen them, they look beautiful, dude. They're
Oh
really
yeah.
cool looking.
I like
Oh
that
yeah.
color coordinated as well. That's really cool.
Fuck man.
Got
It's
some activity in the chat there. It's pretty cool.
oh, let me see here. I. Some guy. This was I don't know. This might have been early on, but some guy said, "Guy on the right is very handsome." Some guy named Jack. What the fuck?
All right.
Uh,
Someone else thinks so over here too.
oh fuck, Huffy! Oh my god, okay. So this is Huffy said, "Nice Venom shirt, insane art." 666. John Gorez says, "Did you find inspiration found in objects in the wild?"
Mhm.
Hold on a second.
Sure.
I don't know if I read that right. Do you find inspiration from found objects out in the wild, AI, not stores, but side of the road
Oh
in nature?
All the time, I guess. Yeah.
Um, Kuraki brand takes a nice squirrel hair brush pen, or makes a
Kurataki,
nice,
yes. Yeah.
little expensive, but nice to draw with. Can't beat the Pentel pocket brush for affordability, says Wet Noodles.
I got something to interject on that. That may be so. They're probably beautiful to draw with. They are pricey. I'm sure they're great. But as someone who's drawn with an actual sable hairbrush for years and years, I can tell like what mimics it really well. And for $10 to $15 versus 40 or 50 on a Kurataki, the Pentel pocket brush almost emulates it perfectly. So if you ever want to try that one, go with the cheaper one. Yeah.
This guy John Gorez, he makes a comment. Modern comics look like digital mud.
yeah.
A lot of them do.
Yeah, in 10 years they'll be selling that paper stock as specialty because it looks the way people want comics to look. Yeah, I agree. That's the thing. People are gonna fucking be charging $15 for packs of paper you used to get for 15 cents like a week before school started because there's a little it's from the early 2000s or some shit. Who
Right.
cares, man? Like that's one thing like me personally, like I've pretty much been exclusively drawing on this card stock for the last like close to I don't know 6 or 7 months, maybe longer, and I can't really see myself going to anything else right now because the way that the most important thing to me is the way that the pen or like the micron like goes on the paper. You know what I mean? And I've drawn on like that Blood Drunk comic, dude. The paper that I used on that, it just ate the Sharpies. And again, with maybe my heavy handedness and stuff, it was just I was burning through the Sharpie or through the microns, dude. And
Hey, one
once
thing I
I
could
found that,
recommend. One
oh
thing
god,
that I could recommend is just regular Bristol paper, man. Smooth Bristol paper
right,
might even be a little better than cardstock because it's in the same kind of vein as cardstock. The only difference is that surface I think is way more uh, it's just way better for drawing with ink, I think, than just say a regular cardstock would be. I don't know. You
yeah.
might want to give it a try.
I've seen it. I've seen it in the stores and stuff. I've just never. A buddy of mine works on this shit called Illustration Board, and
No, yeah, that's good too. But for drawing comics, it would be too much to. It's too
it's
thick.
thick, isn't it? Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
drawing on a piece of cardboard.
that's more for when you're doing a big single illustration or a painting. Even people paint on it. Um, I'm saying the Bristol paper that's for inking on is, dude, it'd change your life. I think if you gave it a shot, you'd love it. You really would.
Wow.
Stick to what works for you, but I recommend trying it at least once so you can see, you know.
Yeah. Well, I'm part of the reason why I'm asking you certain shit about like different tools and stuff because I'm gonna go to the art store tomorrow and just because I need to get some microns and stuff, and I need to get a couple new erasers. I've been using those kneaded erasers, and I love them, but after a while, like they don't love you back. You know what I mean? Like they're fucking get really greasy and just
Well, this is a
fucked.
great tool, man. I use them too, but what I use them for is after I do my rough sketch, I lightly roll over my sketch to clean it up a little bit, to go over it to sharpen it up. That I don't really use these to erase. I use it to make my sketches less messy so that I can see what I'm
Right.
doing. Yeah, that's these are really good for that. But the eraser I love, man. Where is that bad boy? It's right here. This one. It's a Tombow racer. It's a Japanese racer,
Okay.
and it's called Dust Catch. The reason they call it that is because when you race with it, man, it rolls up into big chunks, and that way you don't have to constantly have to,
Right.
brush your paper. These they race really good, man. Then for my more in between spots, I just use a click
Oh
eraser.
yeah.
Since I do really detailed work to get in between, uh, you know, my lines and erase pencils that I can, wouldn't normally see if I just glanced at it. I get up close on it. I use this tiny Tombow eraser. Really good.
I need to get something like that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
tool geek, man.
That's awesome, man. Have you picked up anything recently or read anything recently or found some cool shit?
Tons, man. That Fuckator. Abby just picked up something that
Oh my fucking god.
I didn't even realize was badass. Dude, have you seen this thing? Black Sad?
No.
Holy
so
fuck,
sick.
dude. Like, just looking at it, like, you're thinking, I don't know. But, man, the art in this is unbelievable. What's this dude's name again?
He's Spanish. I can't quite remember what it is, but just the architecture and the scenery layouts he does is just mad, and it's all watercolor as well.
Holy fuck.
Dude, he's a fucking beast, this guy. Dude.
Underrated.
Dark Horse put it
Is
out.
that new?
No, it was like
It's like
2010s or something like that.
10, 15 years ago, but it's killer as fuck,
Yeah,
man.
they've just had a new volume come out as well.
So it's like a
Wow.
detective crime story set in this world.
It's like the 1950s.
That's the 1950s,
Yeah.
but everyone is animals for some reason.
Mhm.
But the character work in this, the design work is unbelievable, dude.
Yeah, because the guys who wrote and illustrated it were both former Disney animators, I believe.
And then for my birthday, I got Abby picked up this Basil Warburton's entire run of Space Hawk.
Wow.
Which is incredible, dude. The creature designs. This was all drawn in like 1940, but dude, some of the creature designs and spaceship designs and some of the equipment, it's like it's kind of forward thinking, man. It's still got that goofiness to early sci-fi, but it reads like an underground comic. Some of this lettering reminds me of kind of how you letter, dude. Like it's real blocky. Like it's just the panel layouts are real simple and readable. It's just
Wow.
super cool, man. Um, do you like Basil Warburton? Do you know him?
Love
Know about
him.
him?
Love him.
Oh, dude,
Oh, I love the guy.
his sci-fi shit is incredible, dude. Like it's so good, man.
Wow.
And then of course we all know like just he's got these incredible just character designs. But yeah, so Space Hawk, that Fuckator is great. Read that. Dude, are you into Jim Woodring?
Let me see. Let me see the. Oh yeah, that little cat character. Yeah, I like that guy.
Dude,
I
his
don't own
line
any of
work
that stuff, but his stuff is killer.
his line work is sick, dude. It's so sick.
Yeah.
What's the name of that documentary?
The Illuminations of Jim Woodring.
Yeah, dude, the Illuminations of Jim Woodring's a documentary on his work and his life and his approach to his art. He's kind of gets into some deep kind of metaphysical stuff too that kind of loses me, but his approach to his craft, he talks about the tools he uses, is really, really fucking awesome. So we've been hyped, dude. We're constantly like, oh, dude, I'm all hyper. Hang on.
all this good shit.
Hang on, dude. I got, dude. Something else.
So preface. I have this innate ability. If I pick up a book, it's immediately got a discount on it. We can't even explain it. It just happens every time.
This one didn't have a discount on it.
Not that one, but that was a treat.
Hey, do you know Slain, right? Simon Beasley?
No.
Comic?
I know Simon Beasley, but I don't know that comic.
Oh my God, dude. You got to get this, man. This just came out. This completes the entire run of Slain, which is like this, it's like a Celtic barbarian. It has like a lot of, what is it? Irish myth? Irish legend?
Like Celtic shit or whatever. Yeah.
Oh my God, dude! It's so fucking awesome. I can't believe.
Colors are so bold.
I can't believe you haven't heard of this fucking book. But dude, this is like.
Fuck! Look at it.
Dude, this is like like I said, an upside, like twice up version of like what used to come out in the early '90s, and it's all like shot from the original film. And dude, this shit's metal as fuck, man.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Like back in the early '90s, I was only able to get issue 5, so it's really cool to see like all the rest of it that I just missed out on. But dude, there's like these epic battle scenes, and only in the way that Beasley can do.
His stuff is fantastic, man.
But the colors in this and the reproduction, man, it's wild, dude. Like it's sick as fuck. Really inspiring stuff, man.
And I get to meet him at the end of the month. So
Abby's going to like a 2000 AD convention. When is that? When you get back?
It's literally like 2 days after I get back. And I'm going to have all the boys there.
So yeah, dude, highly recommend Oh, here it is. Dude, this could be a metal album cover, dude.
It really could.
This one could be a fucking... Just put the logo at the top of whatever band. Like, look at that, dude.
Yeah.
Look at the skulls. Oh, and dude, I recently saw an interview.
Dude, you sound like me talking about your art.
I recently discovered that this was his first painted work. This was his first time tackling paint. And guess what? His main tool to paint this fucking book was car spray paint, dude. Can you fucking believe that? Like a lot of these backgrounds, he would just spray paint and then go back and detail stuff. But
crafty bastard.
I can't say enough about how badass this motherfucker is, dude. As you know, man, Beasley's just a beast.
Most of my exposure to him is through heavy metal.
Me too.
And one thing that I've been looking for years, and it's always out of print. It came back in print in like 2018. I missed out on it. It was called Body Count, and it was Ninja Turtles comic that he did. Yeah. He did a book with Frank Miller that I actually picked up called Bad Boy.
I saw that.
The thing is, though, I gotta bust it out because as far as I remember,
kind of weird on that one, isn't it?
Well, I think that whoever colored it, I don't think he colored it, so it kind of had like where is that shit? There it is.
Hey, dude, something else I was gonna tell you about. Mads put out these like complete full runs of like Jack Davis on his run of Mad.
Wow, I'll have to check that out.
Also, Wally Wood. They did a Wally Wood one.
So this is Simon Beasley's art, but it's not colored by him, so it doesn't have like that.
You know
Like I
what?
think
They
this
do
looks
that.
cool, but it, you
They
know what I
do that
mean?
with Richard Corbin on modern stuff too. You know that, right? Like
Yeah,
when Richard Corbin draws, and somebody else colors it, it kind of has that feel. It doesn't quite look like his shit.
right.
Like in those Danzig comics as well, it doesn't quite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that is like that looks as Frank Miller as it could possibly. Frank Miller probably did that because that looks Frank Miller. But like if Beasley did that, that like the coloring like is just shit. As I don't know, I don't want to talk too much shit because I can't do it personally, but that's sort of more Corbin or Beasley ish on the
Right.
coloring. But like when you compare that to those are cool.
Yeah, that's definitely Beasley looking. That's definitely Beasley.
Right there.
Yeah, that's Beasley all the way there.
So when you compare that to that, it's like night and day.
Oh
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like that comic you just showed me looks like it's like this the whole time.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and there's some cool process Beasley process, man. Like even like that, like seeing like those like big scratchy lines. It's I love that.
His ink work, like when he just inks a book, is really cool versus the paint, but it's got to be colored a certain way. Like that early
Um,
Lobo shit.
yeah. Speaking of, we talked about Jim Mahfood earlier. Here's a book. The only one I have by him is called Marijuana Man.
Oh no! Wow.
And when I bought this, the guy said, "Enjoy your marijuana, man."
That's
And
funny.
I thought that was hilarious. But um, yeah, his style is fucking crazy, man.
It's real wild.
He
Yeah.
he does that book called Girl Scouts, which
Yeah.
I wanna get some of those, man.
I saw some yesterday.
He has a new book out. Did you see that? Where it's some kind of violent, weird.
Yeah, Jim Rugg did like a variant, I think, because I seen him
Yeah.
posting about that.
Looks kind of cool. But yeah, I don't know if you saw these when I was holding them up, dude. Mad recently put out these collected volumes of the early EC Mad with Wally
Yeah,
Wood
yeah.
and Jack Davis and Will Elder too. They're complete
Oh
runs
fuck.
and Mad Comics. Yeah,
So good.
really good
Excellent.
cartooning, man. Yeah. So that's what I'm hyped up on right now, and I try to take that same energy and put it into my work.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
It's it's super like inspiring, and you get the giddy feeling when you're looking at shit like that. You know what I mean? You get like the inspiration, and it makes you want to draw. Like that's the kind of artwork I love looking at, man. Where it's just like, okay, I need to draw. Don't necessarily have to draw that. Just need to draw.
It makes you want to create. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's
Well,
a
that's
good
why I
feeling.
feel good when someone tells me, when they see my stuff, is like, oh man, I want to go draw now. Versus like, I give up, I don't want to draw because I'll never get to your level. Like, no, man, that's not what this is about. It's not a pissing contest. It's about inspiring, that's what I like to
Yeah.
hear. Yeah.
And that's the thing, because one, like, you can't compare your stuff to other people's shit, and you know, you just can't, because you'll never be happy with what you're doing. You can
Yeah.
compare yourself to yourself. Compare your latest shit to your first shit, and you'll be like, wow, like the amount of you know progress or whatever that you've made. Because when I look at my first comic that I made compared to the last one, it's like night and day. You know,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
still proud of the first shit that I've done, but like it's getting more and more um polished, and I'm finding my style a little bit more every time. Um yeah, man.
Just since I've known you, I kind of see that progression, man. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's cool, man. Like that the last sort of big one that I did was that Beavis and Butthead comic. And I remember when I was doing that, we were talking about Terror Rat, and I remember you said you got a couple sleazy cops in your comic too.
I do.
Like, oh fuck yeah, yeah.
I do.
Oh man,
I would show you the panel, but I don't think it would be good for your YouTube
yeah, it's fine.
thing.
It's
But
fine.
yeah,
I'm not making any money here.
well, yeah.
um, yeah, man. Here's something that I want to say. I wanted to talk about this. I think I'm 6 issues away from having a full run of Zap, and once I have all of them, I want to do a zine. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, but I'm going to recreate every cover and
That's
like
great.
put like my own shit and make a zine out of it, dude. I cannot wait, but uh and I'm not worried because I've got like the hardest to find issues of Zap. I think are probably the first couple. Like, as I don't give a shit about print. I've got I need issue 1, but you can get that. It's in my cart right now for $17 on mycomicshop.com. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but
Yeah.
that's a great resource for finding comics and stuff. It's pricey to get shit shipped up to Canada. Like, I'm talking like $40. If your cart says it's $40, when it's all said and done, it's going to be close to like $70. You know, just because of like the conversions and fucking whatever else. Like, it's
Right.
a nightmare, dude. It's a nightmare. That's why it's hard for me in like living up here sometimes. Like, people put out cool zines, comics, and stuff all the time, and it's like I want that, but it's gonna end up costing me like $50, for
Right.
something that they're charging like, and
Right.
it's like, fuck, it's $50 is still $50 to me, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that can be challenging. I think there's ways around it when you hit up like conventions or, you know, resale shops too. Sometimes you'll run into some surprises there, man. Uh, but yeah, there's something I was going to tell you. Oh yeah, speaking of that, did you see that they? I don't think that's how I would do it. It'd be nice to have. I would be like a single issue guy, as my like you were doing, because I have a few myself. I don't have a complete collection. I have like issue 1, I have 2 and 3, and I think 16. So I have some gaps in it. But they did a collective. They did like a collection of all of them. Did you see that?
I did. It's fucking expensive as hell, but
It's
it's
expensive
nice.
as fuck. Yeah. It'd be worth having though, you know.
Yeah, I'd love to own that, but if it means I got to spend like $1,000, I can't.
Yeah.
I'll fucking have to wait. Um, Especially, you know, when there's so much other stuff out there that I'm like interested in picking up. Like, I'm so close to having the full run. It's like, okay, if I bought that, it would just be like buying it just to, you know, I don't
Yeah.
know. I want it. If I had the money, I'd buy it, honestly.
Well,
But
and then also like we just said, the the crazy insane shipping price that you would have that you got to add that to the cost already of how expensive it is. So yeah,
mhm.
you'd be paying more than you'd be paying a pretty good chunk.
Well, if
Yeah,
it costs 500, and like, let's say it costs $500 and it's come from the States, it's going to be like at least 800 to 900, and plus all that like tariff bullshit. Who knows what that's going to fucking do to it? Like, I don't know.
dude,
Oh
dude, that's
boy.
gonna be a night. I don't even want to know what's gonna happen with all that, and like I've been thinking, it goes back to what I was saying earlier, where I'm starting out with comics. It might be okay because all that shit about trying to get a book made in China and then shipped off to the people that buy it, it could be a nightmare, you know. And I don't know how it's going to
Mhm.
affect other publishers or major companies. I mean, I guess we'll see, but um, doing it yourself really seems like the way to go. You're not going to reach as many people, but you get to at least make your book and not have to worry about that tariff bullshit, because that just seems insane to me, man. If that goes down the way that it's looking like, anyway. But
Yeah, it's fucked. But
it's stupid.
on on the other side, on the sunnier side of this shit is we live in a time where we have access to so much awesome stuff constantly that, you know, sitting around and dwelling on bullshit we can't really control, it ain't gonna fucking do anything anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
I just want to fucking, like, personally, all I want to do is fucking draw comics and hang out in the garden with my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. Like, all this fucking, we just had, like, I don't want to get like all fucking political on you or anything like that, but we
I
just
don't
had an
either.
election here, and it's like I could give a fuck. It's like all I want to do is fucking
Dude,
smoke weed and fucking draw.
you hit the
You know?
nail on the head, dude. Abby and I are really simple, man. We just
Yeah.
wanna make our comics, buy comics, read and look at what we want, and
Yeah.
have cats and chill in the garden. That's all we want.
So many cats.
That's it. That's it. I just cut the grass fucking yesterday because my wife's
Yeah.
coming home like today, and I know first thing she's gonna want to do is go back there.
It's real
And
simple.
yeah, tomorrow we're probably actually gonna start planting our garden. Um, but
Awesome, man.
fuck it, dude. That's all I give a shit about, man. That's it.
So that's why it pisses me off when, like, these ultra rich fucking zillionaires and politicians just want to make our lives harder when we just want simple shit, man. I don't want to. It doesn't seem complicated to me. Life, it doesn't have to be as complicated as people want to make it. I just
Yeah.
don't think it has to be that way, but it is, and you just navigate through it. And hey, at least what you and I have that a lot of people don't have. We have our outlets, man. And that's what's
Yeah.
cool. That creative outlet makes you deal with it.
Well,
Does for me.
like, not only are you're productively spending your time, but you're also like honing a craft.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And uh, satisfying an addiction in a way, really. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Because when you know that you got like like a bunch of hours ahead of you where like all you have to do is draw, it's like that's a fucking awesome day. You know?
yeah,
Just sit around, draw, fucking, and it like a lot of times what I do is I have shit playing in the background like constantly, either a movie or like music and stuff like that. And to me, it's a good vibe, as they say. Good
only way to
experience.
live, man.
Just that's it. And it's for
For
like
us.
other than the supplies and the time, it's free. It doesn't cost money to fucking make a comic unless like you know what I mean.
Well, and those
Uh,
supplies in the grand scheme of things, man, aren't that much compared to other things you would get into. You know,
yeah,
really isn't. Um, but yeah, awesome shit.
it's um. What about speaking like we kind of talked about you mentioned that Jim Woodring documentary. Did you check out the Robert Williams documentary called Mr. Bitchin'? It's
Yes,
on
I've seen it.
YouTube.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Awesome.
It's great. It's great. I
Yeah.
love, dude. I mean, I'm not the only one, obviously, but that's another idol of mine. I love Robert Williams and his attitude and approach. I consider him he's one of the founding fathers of lowbrow and
Yeah.
just, kitsch culture and trash, and um, really, really takes that spirit of what EC did, EC Comics early on, and put that in his work along with all those other underground guys. And
Yeah.
dude, not to compare myself to any of those guys, but I try to carry that spirit in my work. I try to just carry that on in my work.
For sure.
Yeah,
For sure, man.
yeah.
Yeah,
all the
that
way.
that was a good one. Uh, what about the Spain documentary called Bad Attitude? Did you check
I
that
love
out?
it. I love it.
Fuck, so good. That one sad though, man. Like it
It's
has
really
like,
sad.
yeah,
He's
you know,
underappreciated, man. I think Spain should be elevated to the height of Crumb. I think he should be just as celebrated as Crumb
I do
is.
too. I do too. And Crumb even went on record saying once that uh, when he's drawing, like he's still trying to impress guys like Spain with his drawing
Yeah.
and stuff. And it's like that's very like to me like inspirational. You know what I mean? Like knowing like because I hold Spain in such high regard, and Crumb himself holds him in such high regard. It's like this
Yeah.
is I don't know. It's awesome, man.
Also too, I don't know if you've noticed this, and I guess I recently noticed it because I was able to get more of the Trash Man stuff because I bought that Fighting Man. Uh, uh,
Fighting Men, yeah, it's the first issue of that book series.
Fantagraphics put
yeah.
all their stuff, all the Trash Man comics in one thing. But
Right.
I also bought a paper, which is also in that that Fantagraphics book. But I went to On Last Gasp and I bought an original Trash Man Underground paper. Okay,
Wow.
and I flipped it open, and dude, one of the first few panels in there is this epic battle scene with what look like road warrior vehicles with fucking guns on them and just road warrior looking type people. The Trash Man universe really has like kind of a post apocalyptic kind of cyberpunk vibe before there was that shit.
Right.
So he invented Mad Max, dude, basically, because you see a lot of these car battle chase scenes, and they look like Mad Max vehicles. But we're talking, this is like 1968, 69. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like
He
15,
paved the
20 years
way.
before the movie came out. He's already like, it's very like 2000 AD before 2000 AD.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's so awesome how ahead of his time he was. And I don't think he gets enough credit for that. He's
No. Well, and same with like those the only Spain book that I have like not including single issues is it's a collection called Cruising with the Hound, and there's no Trash Man in it, but it's just like a spectacle, you know what I mean? Like to look at his stuff and like look at his backgrounds, and it's like just like you said, he deserves to be like talked about as much as Crumb. Like that's a
he
fact, man.
his draftsmanship, dude. It's amazing. He's just
Yeah.
such a good artist. Just so solid at drawing and characterization, and even with the stuff that like you're trying to look at it or read it, and the panels can be kind of like some of the storytelling can and some of the earlier stuff can be kind of confusing, but to me, it still gets the point across. And what I love about it, the design of it, it's just uniquely him. Uh, it's like Crumb. You can see Crumb and you know it's him. But
Yeah.
Spain has a harshness and like this edge to it that, oh, it's just like no other, man. And since he was inspired by Wally Wood, he always his his main character has the feature of a Wally Wood trope of the shadow, that
Yeah.
double lighting on the face, and he just made it graphically that facial feature. That's that character's
Yeah.
facial feature, and I think that's the most brilliant fucking thing ever, dude. That's so good.
And like that like he's drawing from his own life experience and stuff. I love in that documentary that one
Yeah,
guy he's like there's some I don't know if he's some Hell's Angel guy that makes comic books or something. And
right.
it's like, dude, this guy like is fuck.
Yeah,
Like
that excerpt from there's like there's a couple main comics about his time in the Road Vultures, and
Yeah,
they go around to parties and they're fucking people up. And that
yeah,
opening panel, I forget the name of the strip, but it's one that's incomplete. I have it in two different publications, and it always shows like the pencils in some places. I guess he didn't finish it, but they
mm,
printed it that way. But the opening panel is them on a freeway, and the guy in the front of the pack on the motorcycle. He's on his motorcycle. There's a girl in the back, and then the word balloon is like, "Sometimes I feel like I'm a god." And he's on the he's on this freeway with all these bikes behind him. It's so cool.
yeah, yeah. Fuck, man. Like
What a
those.
way to open a story with that panel. It's just so good.
I know.
Yeah.
There was like a lot of inspiration drawn from that because, like, for me personally, because like like just sleazy people. I love comics that have like sleazy people in them. Like I don't want like to read a comic about like a nice fella. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
want it to be about just like some piece of shit. Like that's why I made Filthy Ralph, because I was like, I want a guy that is just like fucked. You know what I mean? And Spain, like,
You'll
oh,
love to hear that Abby. I let her read your Filthy Ralph comics that you sent, and
nice.
she just enjoyed them on a gummy, dude, and the laughter.
Oh my god, it was so
Yeah, it was. So that should make
Thank
you
you.
happy, man. It went well with the gummies that
Definitely.
she had. And,
so good.
Oh fuck.
but dude,
Yeah,
I'm
I
still down to do that trade. And my idea for the Filthy Ralph piece, you're gonna love it. Speaking of sleazy characters, I've got a great idea
oh
for that scene.
fuck, man. Oh, that that warms my heart because I love knowing that people can appreciate it and like actually get a laugh out of it, not just like, what the fuck is this? Like that's why when when I sent you that shit, I was like, this is someone that gets it, that needs like, and I need them to see that I also get it. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
the love and like the fucking craft of it and all this shit. Like it's not just like, you know, thrown together with fucking AI. You know what I mean? Like this shit is actually like you sit at a desk, there's time and there's blood and fucking tears and this shit, and
Well, that's
it's
one
part of
thing
us,
that
man.
the point you're making is something that I think about constantly, especially with AI being a threat to comics. Because what can AI take? AI is trained by humans, right? Or whatever you feed
Right.
it. So if I'm sitting down at a table and I make a comic some of it based on my own experiences, AI can't take the place of that.
No.
So if you really want something from a person, then that's what you'll gravitate towards. That's what you'll go for. Um,
Mhm.
so this whole idea of AI, which it's already creeping in, we talked about it on our last conversation.
Yeah.
These companies using AI generated covers. They're talking about AI generated stories and art, and there's already people experimenting with running AI programs on their comic storytelling. Fuck that. That's
Yeah.
not. Do it if you want, but man, that doesn't count to me because it's all about, especially if you're an independent creator. I throw in my personal experiences in it. Some of this dialogue and stuff, I'm just repeating shit I've heard people say or what conversations I've had. It's real life in some sense, just wrapped up in a
Yeah.
fictional, outrageous way. But it's just it's stupid, man. Not to run your program here, but I saw an interesting comment about
I was
Sam Keith. Do you have
yeah.
thoughts on that, Ricky? What do
Hold
you
on.
think?
I'm sorry. What
Yeah,
was the
the
what
question
did you
that
just say, buddy?
Retro or Die says, what do you guys feel about creators like Sam Keith who did the Max, kind of making his stuff, but also hating it and taking the piss out of it in front of fans? I guess talking shit about your own, like trashing your own work in front of people or something, I guess is the point. Yeah.
I wouldn't
I don't
like
have thoughts on it really. Yeah.
yeah, I don't really I know like I think like if the question is like if he's hating his own stuff, I love my own stuff, man. Like I think it's I'm obsessed with it.
Right.
Um but hold on, I've seen some of these comments coming up. I just didn't want to like interrupt the fucking flow of shit because we were
Oh, sorry,
talking.
man. I didn't. I didn't mean to do that.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm just looking for uh where was that? How do you feel about McFarlane having the longest running comic ever made by by an original creator, even though McFarlane is a chode now? He says. Um, what would Superman do with Filthy Ralph? Just leave him be? I don't know. I don't know. Filthy Ralph, like I wanted to do a thing
Superman's not cool
where
enough to hang out with Filthy Ralph. First of all.
no, Filthy Ralph would be fucking would bully little Clark Kent in school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Make him fucking he super like he can't handle it. So oh my god, never mind. I was just went too far.
Filthy Ralph would fuck Lois Lane in front of Superman.
Oh fuck, dude, are you kidding me? I did that one piece. I don't know if you got that one of Mickey Mouse, Filthy Ralph and Mickey and Minnie Mouse.
Yeah, I saw that one. That was
Brutal.
Yeah.
It's a little brutal.
Abby was laughing at that one last
Oh
night.
my god.
And the video reviews, the movie, the Filthy Ralph movie review thing or something.
Yeah.
Oh, like the just like the the movie, like one
Yeah.
pagers or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually just did another set of those. They're in the back matter of the Beavis and Butthead comics. So I did like Taxi Driver. I have to show you this one because it's outrageous, and I think you guys will think it's funny if I have one around here. I might have just bullshitted. Fuck. Okay, yeah, never mind. I don't have any out, but the Taxi Driver one basically is a play on the scene where he goes up to the pimp Sport, and Sport's like saying, "Oh, you can do all this, you can do all that," and then he goes, "But no rough stuff." But he says like a bunch of like, you know what I mean? Like he says a bunch of
Yeah.
crazy shit, and then goes, "No rough stuff." So Filthy Ralph is the pimp, and he says to little Ricky, who's the fucking who's the Travis Bickle character, and he says, "You could slit her throat, you can do this, you can do that, but no rough stuff." It's like, fuck.
Oh God.
It's meant for people that have like either seen the films or
Right.
you know can take a joke, you know. Um, but yeah, no, I'm glad that that you like it. That's good to know,
Yeah, man.
man.
We're big
I'm
fans
stoked.
already. Yeah.
Well, I'm stoked on that, and one thing that I'm looking forward to is probably sometime through this week I'm going to go to the comic shop before Wednesday and see if I know at least one thing sold because that guy that I told you about earlier that took the photo for me, he took a photo of his buddy buying one of them. So I'm going to go back with a stack of stuff because I got a bunch of copies of Blood Drunk, a bunch of copies of some other shit that I want to have in stock all the time. You
How
know,
many did you leave up there, Ricky? How many?
five of each, so
Okay.
15 total.
Okay.
Because I
That's
didn't want to
about
like
what
be like
I.
here's 1,000 copies. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah. That's that was I think Forbidden Planet asked for 12. Yeah, it was 12, and then they ordered another 12 when those sold out. So
Right.
it's a good idea to start with like a small
Yeah.
batch. Yeah.
Well, not only that, but like one thing I thought about doing is going around to like I'm only 2 hours away from Toronto, and maybe going up there and like getting in contact with comic shops first, and then either sending or hand delivering like stuff that where they'll sell on consignment if they will. You know what I mean? But like this first shop is sort of a bit of an experiment, and we'll just see what happens from there. You know?
Did you ever think about how I've been thinking about this? Did you ever think about how, man, how would I manage a print run over? Because okay, 25 has kind of been 25 to 50 of anything's kind of been where I'm at with stuff. it's kind of hard to think about, okay, what would I do 100 plus? Like, how would you, that's a lot to manage when you start thinking about production of you're making those copies, then you're you're folding and stapling or gluing or whatever. That's a lot, dude. Like, do you think that you would add an extra day for production, or would you even tackle that many, or how have you even thought about how you would handle if you reach to a point where you're like, dude, you need to like, oh man, I'm making, I've sold fucking a shit ton of these and I need to make more, or, you know what I mean? Like, if your production level has to go up, how would you handle it?
I would just have to see. I would have to take it as it came, basically, because
Yeah.
like there's been times where I've made 50 at a time. There's been times where I've made one. You know what I mean? There's times like the
Right.
most I ever done in one situation, I think, was I printed off 50 copies. I got 50 copies printed of Cinema 187 issue one, but then like I was left with a shitload of copies that I'm still like I still have like probably like five or six of them to this day. And I've went through multiple prints of that, and you go through multiple prints of everything, but um it's when it comes to that 187 zine, because the last one was it was 120 pages and 36 artists, so it was like a lot to deal with. So I only printed enough for the contributors and then 10 extra copies.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I have the files. If I have to print more, then it's doable. It's just, you know, as you know, like printing is an expensive thing, especially when we're talking full color and stuff. Like black and white stuff, I think is, you could get a shitload of stuff printed up for black and white for a pretty cheap price. But it all depends on the situation. Like if I got into a situation where I needed to get 50 copies made, I would just do it and then, you know, live with the repercussions, whatever happens after that.
Yeah, I mean
Uh,
that's kind of that. I was just wondering. I guess I asked because if there's any, I guess I'm the same way. You just play it by ear and take it as it comes, but and
yeah,
then go by experience. But it's good to sometimes prepare for things or have like an
yeah,
idea of how you would set up the infrastructure to move a certain amount of copies. Like, because
yeah.
at our
It's
level, there's got to be a cutoff point of because, dude, honestly, at my level, I don't know how I would do 1,000 or 500 of anything.
yeah.
You
That
can,
would
and
that would require like people fucking like pre-ordering shit and all that kind of stuff to fund it. You know what I mean? Instead of it coming out of your own pocket.
right,
Um, that way you'd be able to do more, because I'm sure if like I don't know what your plan is like when you drop the Terror Rat issue 2, but there's multiple avenues you could take. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure
well,
you'll
I'm doing it really grassroots, man. I'm gonna run off 25, maybe 50, because I know right away probably Forbidden Planet in New York will want 25 right off the bat because the first one did pretty good, and they're
right.
expecting that. So I might run off 50, sell them 25, and then the other 25s just sell locally or online, and then
Yeah,
depending on how those will do, will determine my um, well, I'll still do the next one. I'll do them regardless. But you know what I mean? It will depend on my urgency on how I will tackle the next thing. You know,
right.
um, each one's going to be a self-contained story, and I've got several ideas. So I'm going to at least do those to just kind of satisfy my needs out of it. But
Yeah.
uh, yeah, I've got a lot of other ideas
Oh,
besides Terror Rat too, though. So yeah,
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like with Sawblade, was it Sawblade Comics or is it Sawblade 666 Comics? Like I know that
Subway
you had like
66 Comics. Yeah.
right. So like under that umbrella, you could have Terror Rat, and you could have fucking Hellish Tyrant, you could have whatever. You could like
Anthologies,
that's
just
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, yeah. That's one thing that I want to do. I want to do like I've mentioned this recently in the YouTube videos where I want to do I think like an anthology of like like maybe like 4 or 5 page comics, and I want to call it dime bag, something with the word dime bag in it, like referring to the fucking marijuana fucking dime bag.
Not the douchebag
Uh,
from Pantera.
not that guy. Um, so and that is gonna fall under like the because I don't really have like a title for my comics thing. Like I've been trying to think of something, but I pretty much just call them like the Filthy Ralph comics or Video Homicide comics, whatever. Uh, but that all like it. The more you get into this, and the more shit you do, the more shit you discover about how you want to present your stuff, and there's a whole like as far as like an infrastructure, like you were talking about, like that is like I never even thought about that type of shit. You know what I mean? Like if I
Well,
had to ship off 50 comics.
you might have to if your book does well and you want to pursue it, and it's just good to kind of think ahead. Someone in the comment and related to what we're talking about was saying, well, that's what Patreon is for, my dudes, and then he's going into like how to tackle this and that and the other. Easier said than done, because you have to really. I looked into Patreon. Okay, it's kind of complicated for me. I don't really
Right.
understand it all. I would have to get help on it. And you have the way that I know how to do stuff is how I'm going to implement things. And then from there, try to keep it going based on just what I know, which is just to make the thing physically and distribute it online through either my social media or here in town or at conventions or whatever I end up doing. So
Right.
it's real grassroots level stuff, man. I'm not high tech. You probably know more about it than I do, Ricky, as far
My
as like,
thing is, here's and I see Retro says he wants to. I can't invite you because there's no. You can only invite. I'm streaming off YouTube on my phone, and
right,
it's a fucking a fickle mistress. But my thing with Patreon, the thing that why I don't do Patreon, uh, is or why I think some people maybe shouldn't. If you're doing something where someone's paying you, like you need to constantly be updating it and stuff because like like what just be stuck with a fucking another subscription service to someone you're not getting anything out of it other than early video access or something.
yeah,
It's just not
right,
worth it to me, I like
right.
if every couple of months you get
That's
like
a fair point.
a, a comic or something out of it, then that's fine. Your money's going to something, but just giving a motherfucker money so they can let me watch their video early, like that's no deal to
Y-
me.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. That's a fair
You
point.
know?
You need to have something to offer other than that. And you got to be on top of your game to update that stuff and have it accessible and ready to go. And again, like I said, easier said than done, especially when you're producing the time that
Yeah.
it takes. And I'm not making excuses. I'm just basing it off the way that I do my thing and everything else I have going on, because I always have multiple projects going on and each of them are lengthy and have different things that need to be done to them to to produce, and also uh yeah, just make the time for. So a Patreon or even a Kickstarter, that's another thing, man. This whole Kickstarter thing also kind of has its own culture where you have to fund other things, I think, to really get on board, to really get some backing. You have to have
Yeah.
money and time to back other things and to get into that culture, and I don't have time for that. I just don't.
Yeah.
The way that I
Well, it's a
work,
lot. It's a lot. It's a lot to
yeah,
fucking. All of a sudden, now you're managing a fucking organization or something. You know what I mean? Like, fuck all that, man.
it's just a lot, man. I do what I do, and then I'm kind of like you in the aspect of you make the thing, and then you sell it the way you could sell it, and get it through whatever channels that you're able to understand and operate within reason with your schedule and your other things in your life, and then do it that way. And whatever plus, man, I don't know, it kind of adds to the renegade aspect of things if it's I don't know, not so surface level, overground. You know,
Yeah. Well,
I
that's
like
part of it.
underground.
Like we want it to be underground. Like I want
Yeah,
like
fuck it. You know,
I want my shit to like, and like I've talked to like a buddy of mine, uh like he'll get a few beers in him and tell me all the things that I need to do and stuff like that. And like it's always like you
I
need
have
to
friends
get,
like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
you need to get on TikTok. You need to get on this. You need to do that. And I'm just like, buddy, you like that's the difference between me and other people, and like guys like us and other people, is like we're doing this the way we want it to be done. You
yeah.
know, we're not doing it because, any other reason than that. And like as far as like going on TikTok and all this shit, like as far as I'm concerned, like uh I'm never like, oh fuck. I'm not gonna stop my process to film fucking 10 seconds of a video so someone can watch it. And like they either watch like what I like, it's just it seems like an extra job.
It
Like you're gonna
is.
take on a whole extra fucking job duties? Like no way.
It is, and I'll drop a time lapse thing here and there, or a small video. But dude, you're right. It interrupts my flow, and I like watching other people draw. I love it. I think there's some value in it. That's why I get on Instagram Live every now and then to draw and hang out and connect with people. But uh, to generate interest that way only, I think is I don't know. I don't think it would suit me really.
No.
Um, because if you seem to be like me, when you get locked in the zone with something, it takes every ounce of effort and energy to like get that page right, man. You're
Yeah.
comics is hard work. I don't care what your style is or
Yeah.
what you're doing with it. Anything regarding comics is hard. It's difficult.
That's a fact. Oh yeah.
So I don't see any
Well,
progress videos happen anytime soon of me making a comic.
like yeah,
Drawing
like
is one thing.
you're in the middle of a fucking breakthrough, and all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, hold on, I need to stop so I can move the angle of this
Yeah,
camera and fucking,
yeah.
and then stop, and then you got to stop and fucking do your advertisement for uh NordVPN or whatever the fuck. Like no
No,
one gives a shit, dude. Like just make it like you said, I love watching people draw. I love process and all that stuff, but personally, I'm not stopping what I'm doing to, you know, basically, like I said, take on a whole nother job because, oh, that's what I was gonna say earlier. Like I'm done. Like the only social media that I have and I'm gonna have is the Instagram, and I have Facebook and YouTube, and that's it. I don't want any other bullshit because it's just it's too, it takes away from time at the drawing table or time with my wife. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to
that's enough
fucking,
right there. Yeah, I
yeah,
agree.
that's
I
it.
agree, man. I agree, 100%. The focus is the actual thing that you make. You know that's what it is, and whatever channels you have to promote it your own way is good enough. I mean,
Yeah,
now I guess it's not if you're trying to be a rock star, but I don't know, man. If you're doing underground shit, you're not trying to be a rock star.
no,
If the work propels itself into that level just because people like it, great, whatever. But again, man, I think there's like there's an element to that renegade kind of feel that stuff has when it's not presented in a slick way. You know what I
yeah.
mean? I just like stuff like that.
My buddy Comic Cracks in here, and he says, "Fuck Kickstarter and Patreon. I think for small press stuff, building relationships with small distros is the way to go. hell, there's a small comic shop in town that specializes in self-publishing. He's up in Winnipeg,
Oh, wow.
which is in Canada.
I agree with
Um,
that comment. I saw that earlier. I think I agree, man. Here's another thing too. I see the value in Kickstarter and Patreon. I do, I really do. But the thing with Kickstarter, man, you better have product to produce. I don't know. I don't want to feel obligated just because I don't know. You feel locked into something, and you really have to have that product the way that people expect it because they paid for it. You're there's some pressure there. Um, I don't know. I want it on my own terms, not because somebody funded it or
yeah,
I don't know. I guess you could have the thing ready to go and then present it and then hit that print button when you have the money. That's one thing. But again, I just that Kickstarter shit, I looked into it briefly and I just don't have the time to figure all that out. I just don't.
yeah,
I want to draw. I want to draw and then produce it my way. And whatever happens with that happens, you know. Somebody asked a
for sure.
question like, I guess the end goal is the point. Is it to make stuff only, which is is respectable, or is it to sell it, or is it both? It's whatever you
Well,
want it, you know. It's whatever
it's
you
like
want it to
it.
be.
The thing, it's like making it is like is the number one priority. Selling it is like the you know, like it's a part of it, but to me that's not the only part of it. Like that's not the end of it. Like the end goal is to just get it out there and or not really get it out there, but just get it made. You know, making it and then what happens after that is just a bonus because it's always on to the next story or to the next piece or the next comic. Um, you know, and like my thing personally with like crowdfunding and stuff like that is I just feel like people rely on that too much. You know, like they're gonna like the fate of their comic relies on other people paying for it. Like if
Yeah,
it's
that I
you know
think
what I
that's
mean?
kind
Like I
of
don't
what I
get
was.
that.
Yeah, I think that's you put it into better words. That's the kind of what I was trying to get at earlier when I was saying like you're under that control of whatever you know that but how that plays out is when your comic will be made. You know what I mean? You got to have enough
Mhm.
money from these people that are going to fund. They're going to trust you to make that thing for them when they give you money. And I just assume take my happy ass to the copy store and make the thing, however many I can make, and distribute it myself till I find other means. My thoughts
Yeah,
on how I want it, how to approach this was to always make uh, the cut and paste style photocopy comic slash zine myself, and then collect whatever I make into hardback volumes, and then maybe fund that through like a funding goal. You know that I can see
yeah,
doing, but still continue to do the single issues and
yeah,
quit selling the ones that turn into like a hardbound volume. And if you missed out, you missed out. You can get the book, but I'm going to
yeah.
keep making you know photocopied comics and zines because it's
Definitely.
satisfying. you know.
It is, and that's the thing that people might not get, like compiling the stuff and making it and then getting that first print off the press and folding it, stapling all that bullshit. It's a feeling that is hard to like match, really. It's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I like when I folded that for the first issue of High as a Fly, when that and I cut it with the guillotine and all that shit, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, and I sat down and I read it and I was like, fuck, this is it turned out like it's what I wanted it to be, and that's the
Yeah.
important part. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Dude,
like,
I
there's
got the
no
same.
deviation or any fucking bullshit influence of anything. This is all just like because I was as high as a fly when I made this fucking comic. You know what I mean? So,
I love that
oh
name,
man,
dude. I love that.
Yeah.
High as a fly, and that character, that's so good. That's so
Yeah.
good.
I want
I want to
and like
draw him.
that's the thing. Yo, draw the high fly.
Dude, I want to draw him, and,
Oh,
and
dude.
it reminds me. It totally reminds me of the character. My brother had the action figure when we were kids. The Ninja Turtle guy, was it Doctor Baxter or whatever, the guy with the fly arms?
Oh yeah, Baxter
The
Stockman.
Baxter Stockman, yeah. It looks reminded me of that guy a little bit. Yeah.
Uh, that's fucking hilarious. You know what's funny is my dad was here last weekend and or the weekend before, and we were talking about it, and he's like, "Oh, have you thought of a name for him?" And I'm like, "No, not really." And he said, "What about Shitty the Fly?" And then I said, Why not Shitty La Flea to make it sound like better than it is?" So he's basically Shitty La Flea or the High Fly. Either name works.
Yeah,
Um,
that's funny. It's
fuck.
funny. Real clever though, man. I like it.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that was a fun one, man. And like I think the next book that I'm gonna start is this sort of Dawn of the Dead ish parody.
Oh, that's cool.
Um, that was probably gonna take me a couple of months to do, but I also got this Western called Rotten Revolver that I've been talking about for like 2 fucking years at this point. But
Dude, another great name. That's awesome. Rotten
thank you, man.
Revolver. That's great. That's
It's
fucking awesome.
it it's it's something that I like naming shit to me. Like that's why when I seen you reposted that thing about that piece you did called Vomit Cough, and I knew that I couldn't have been the first person to like think of that fucking like combo of words, but when I seen that and I
I
seen like the picture that you had with it, I was like, that is insane, man.
when I
Fuck.
saw your comic, I was like, oh wow, that's cool because I felt the same way. I was like, I guess you know, I was like, what's he
Yeah.
gonna think when I post my vomit coffin design if he hadn't already
Dude, when I
seen
seen
it?
that, I was like, oh fuck. Oh man. Yeah, so ideally I want to compile the Rotten Revolver, Blood Drunk, and Vomit Coffin. Like I'd like to do like an actual like square bound like book, even if I only press up like 10 copies or something. Like I just want to have them on my shelf with with my name on the spine. This is all like sort of a vanity project, but it whatever.
Yeah,
It's for I'm only doing a few copies like for myself, and you know what I mean. Like it's not to me like doing like the perfectly bound stuff and hardcovers editions and stuff like that. Like that stuff that I can't see myself doing until down the line a bit. Like when I have like I'd like to be able to compile like a 200 pages of stuff in one book. I think that would be awesome. But right now I'm fine with doing the saddle stitch and you know when I did the most recent copy of Cinema 187, it's 120 pages. I don't know how many that works out to be because there's like 4 pages on one piece of paper. I don't know the
yeah.
exact number at this moment, but it was so thick that my stapler wasn't cutting it, so I had to use like a stapler that you would use for hanging flyers on like telephone poles.
Oh
What I
shit!
did was
Wow.
I took a big piece of foam and put it on the table, and then put my shit on top of the foam, and then stapled it, and then had to like
Crazy.
pull it off of the foam, and then fold the staples by hand. It was a fucking you know pain in the ass, kind of, but it was worth it. It was worth it to not have to like take it somewhere and be like, "Oh, can you staple my fucking book for me?" or whatever the fuck.
I know some people like sew their covers and like the which I never. I guess that would work. I never tried that, but yeah, I don't know what. That's a good point. I don't know what you would do when your shit gets too thick to staple. Like, but
Yeah,
you mentioned square bound like this Fugator. That's actually a better option, I would think, than hardbound. I would be totally down to do like
yeah,
several issues of Terrat and then combine them in a square bound with your name and then the title of your book would be really cool. Um,
fuck yeah,
that's something to look into for sure. Yeah.
yeah. Um, yeah, man. fuck. I think I think it might be a good time to wrap it up because I got to leave here soon.
Cool, man.
Uh,
We're gonna
but
have lunch.
I want to say like I really appreciate you coming on and shooting the shit, man. And even Abby, like I appreciate you guys both being here and just
Oh,
you
no
know
worries.
Dude, thank
it's
you, man.
cool to like to talk to like-minded people. And like I said, I feel like every time we do one of these, like it's just like it almost feels like we're old friends in a way because we share this passion for something. You know what I mean? It's not
Absolutely.
like what you know what I mean. Like yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's
I'll
really cool, man.
I'll basically say this. Stay tuned for fucking Terror Rat number
Issue
2.
2, man.
Uh, it will be coming soon enough. And one here, I'll share this with you guys. My buddy Liver Mortis Zine. We're doing this collab, and this is the poster, or like this is going to be the cover. It's inspired by
That's
Street
great, man.
Trash.
That's great,
Yeah.
dude.
So and there's a color version of this as well. So
Awesome, man.
stay tuned for that. But
Oh yeah, dude.
with that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. I don't. Do you guys have a long weekend right now?
Meaning like day off or
Oh
something?
well, yeah. In Canada, like Monday's a holiday. I got to work it, but I don't know if it was like down in the States. I don't even know what the fuck the holiday is, but I'll
Not that
I'll
I
take
know.
time and a half. I'll
Yeah.
take time and a half. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyways, guys, enjoy your night.
Hey Ricky, thanks, man. Appreciate your
No
time,
problem.
and it's been awesome fucking catching up, and
Yeah,
dude, keep in
we'll do
touch,
this
man.
again. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
definitely do this again. We'll do it sooner than the last time. Like, let's do it with less space in between. You know what I mean? Or you know what I'm saying? Like, because I
Well,
feel like it's
anytime you
been
just want
months.
to shoot the shit, give me a call or something, dude, too.
Yeah,
So yeah,
fuck yeah, man.
anytime,
Yeah,
man.
sounds good, buddy.
Later, man.
Oh,
Thanks, Ricky.
apparently it's called the May Long Weekend, according to Comic Crack. He's also
Oh,
in
okay.
Canada. All
Yeah, I
right,
don't
see you
fucking know
guys.
that. Cheers, dude.
Peace.
Later.